What's up, Cam?
How you doing?
Chill, man. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. You've been killing it with the new onboardings lately. I think when I started there was like 2 or 3 weeks and there was nobody, and now it's just like
Well, I don't know if I ever told you. I don't think I did tell you this. I basically am in monk mode from September until May. So I work, I grind, I don't really do much. And then June, July, August, I actually like live a little. I actually go on the weekends, have a few drinks and chill. So that's why things are a little bit slower in the summer. And then once we get back in this phase, things pick
grind
up.
time.
Yeah, grind time. Yeah.
Nice.
Uh, Mr. Kilman, hope you're doing well.
How are you?
Hey man, just living the dream out here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just chilling, chilling.
What's exciting?
What's exciting? A lot of cool things are exciting. I got some stuff I've been working on for like the last 3 weeks, a secret project, and I've been waiting to share it with you guys. I legitimately think I built a multi seven-figure business idea in like 24 hours. And I've just been testing things out for like the last 2 weeks. So I will share that with you guys when the time arises. Um, but yeah, aside from that, not too much. Jason, Ryan, Mr. Mason, how's everybody doing?
Not too bad.
Hey, good. All right. I think this is it in terms of the people that are hopping at the very beginning. I think maybe Almon's gonna hop in, a few other people are gonna hop in here in a bit. So we'll go ahead and get started, guys. Um, everybody, we have a new member. We have Ryan joining us from the island of Kiwis. Um, and so I wanted to again, everybody, please let's give Ryan our undivided attention, just like you got undivided attention when you first hopped in. And as you guys all know, there will be a question that he will ask, and we'll call on some of you guys to get kind of get your input. He's already put his question inside the general tab, but maybe he's got a different question, which is, what would you spend less time on? What would you spend maybe more time on? But that being said, um, Jason, can you mute yourself? There you, there you go. But yep. But let's go ahead and turn things over to Ryan. Ryan, the stage is yours. Who are you? What brought you here? A little bit about yourself, a little bit about your goals, and then one, or if you have multiple questions that you wanted to ask, and we can kind of go around and answer those questions for you. But go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, me. Appreciate it. Well, kia ora, guys. Yep, from New Zealand. Born and bred dairy farmer. So real stereotypical. Um, Pretty much feel like I've done every job under the sun at this stage. So, from being in the army to teaching motocross in the States to um, stocking shelves at the supermarket to becoming a diving instructor, driving trucks, farming, retail sales, selling water to people door to door, just pretty much anything. I've done it all. So it's only just recently when I hit my 30s that I was like, man, I really love content creation and kind of dove down that way. So I've been doing videography for the last year, but kind of came to the conclusion that it's really hard to get clients and maintain them when they don't know how to utilize videos, essentially. So they kind of just fall off the back and you don't get the returning clients, customer base. So pretty hard to hit that market. And then, yeah, came across CMCC, much like the rest of you guys, and jumped on board to this whole marketing side of it and, yeah, hit the ground running. A little bit more about me, man. Love sports, all things sports, especially racing sports, whether it's like F1, road cycling, mountain biking, running, marathon, pretty much anything that's speed is involved. I got a 2.5-year-old, and my toxic trait is thinking I can do something myself cheaper than if I hire a professional to do it, and then I end up spending more time doing it than if I just hired the professional and it cost me more money in the long run. But then at least I learned a new skill along the way. I think renovating my last house was like a big, you know, part of that. Um, what else have we got in here? What are the other?
Goals?
question. Goals, yeah. Get rich, die trying. To sum it up. Um, like no, I wanna turn over enough funds to, have financial freedom. So I want to get rid of my mortgage, and basically just be able to go do whatever I want to do without having to look at the bank balance essentially. So, and then from there, gain enough capital to invest into properties. And then you can kind of take a step back and then, you live off the investments, like commercial properties and stuff, and kind of start to live the high life, become the Andrew Tate in New Zealand in a good way. And then buying a $2 million property and, of course, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. So those are the goals. The one question, yeah, and this is for everyone, because I'm just starting in this, what, couple of days in, I really wanted to know, when you guys look back at when you first started, what is it that you wish you had spent more time doing and kind of like less time of what you actually did? So, where do you wish you put more focus into initially to, if you look back and be like, man, I wish I put more effort into learning that sales script, because now I know that, that's generating a lot more than what I was putting effort into. So that's out to you guys.
Cool. Solid question, Ryan. So before I maybe call on somebody for you, just to kind of give you some context, Mason obviously has been here the longest. After that, we've got people like Aman who've been here since 2020 as well. He's not here right now, but he probably will hop on a little bit. Just depends on whether he has a call or not. Then we've got Cam, who's about 2 months in. He's moving at a really fast speed. So even though he's 2 months in, I would say he's at a place where, it takes people, 4 or 5 months to accomplish what he's accomplished. We've got Kilman, who's coming in on a month. And we got Jason, who's right where you are, basically right where you are. So I just wanted to give you some context of that. Before I call on, I would say Cam, because he's a little bit probably further along. So Cam, I guess, what would you say in terms of that question of like, and Ryan, one more time, if you want to rephrase that question for Cam.
Um, when you first started, when you first were kicking off, what do you wish you spent more time doing instead of what you kind of actually invested more of your time into?
Nice to meet you, Ryan. Congrats on getting in here.
Cheers.
I think probably just try not to get caught up on the side mission stuff. Like for me, an example would be like I closed my first deal and then they put me in the position where you kind of talk to Koshik and Mason, decide whether you want to take that niche that you just happen to get. Because at the very start, it's just random leads. And then whichever one you sell is the one that you run with. Then you got to make a decision where you can either try to get results for that person, which usually means you kind of want to dive deeper into that niche and maybe make that your niche down business, or just toss that to the side and refund them immediately, and just let go of the money that you just worked so hard to get from them so you can focus on the harder things and, in my opinion, the more important things, which is where the money's at. So I immediately refunded because I was like, I don't want to waste my time trying to get results for somewhere that I don't even want to really be in anyways. It was $3,000, so that was kind of hard to let go, but not really when I was thinking of that could be a month's work of my time, trying to get them results when I could be focusing on where I want to be in terms of just getting, for me, it's duct cleaning. So for that, it was like an eyelash extension business. So I could have spent like 2 or 3 months trying to get results and live up to that $3,000 promise that I sold them on. Or I could have refunded them and started going to the duct cleaning side of things. So that's what I did immediately. So I closed my first duct cleaning client, I think last week on Tuesday. And if I hadn't moved straight to duct cleaning, that could still be like a month or two out, from when I did it, if that makes sense. So just try to focus on what Mason and Koshi tell you to do and not worry about the things that, especially if they tell you not to worry about something.
Yep.
They're usually telling you that because you are worrying about something. That's why you're asking about it. But if they tell you not to worry about it, just try your best to have blind faith and be like, okay, they told me not to worry. So just try to forget about the feelings that you get kind of distracted by and stuck on. I'm dealing with that like every day. It's hard for me, but the more you listen, the farther you'll get and the faster you'll go. So yeah, just try not to get distracted with the things that they tell you not to get distracted by, and try to focus on the things that they tell you to put your focus on. Other than that, I don't really know what better advice I could give you.
That's
Just do what
great,
they
man.
say and especially do what they don't tell you to do. So yeah, just
Appreciate it.
use them as to your advantages as much as you can. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do, and it's got me pretty far. So
Ryan, I feel like your question really comes from a place of like the way you phrase it was like, hey, what do you wish you wouldn't have spent as much time on and versus what you wish you would have spent more time on. And so it kind of sort of implies somebody screwed up something. It's like, hey, dude, like what did you maybe screw up on that you wish going back in time you could do things a little bit different? And the reason I kind of lead with that is honestly, Cam pretty much has been doing things by the books. Like he has been like blind faith and just going and I think that's why he's gone so far. Not treating my own horn or Mason's own horn, but like he has been following and it's panned out for him. And especially right now, like literally right now, like you can ask him yesterday, today, we've been just like dealing with a lot of mindset stuff for him. But you know, sharing stuff with them is I think it opens more of his eyes and he just keeps moving forward. I wish Rodarte was here right now because Rodarte is somebody that I feel like would have a really good answer for you because he basically he hopped in, closed a deal with somebody for $8,000, cash collected all of it. It was a Pilates studio. And because of that, and so I asked him, okay, well, what do you want to do from here? And he said, oh, I'll go niche down on this thing. And you'll meet Rodarte, big burly dude from freaking the army, like very cut short. Like he's not the kind of guy that deals with like Pilates instructors, females. Like it's just not his thing. He's a very different kind of guy. So, anyways, he went down that path, tried to help her. She was a shit client. Next, you know, he's spending like 2 months and refunds are $7,000. And then he's starting the process of where Cam is. And so he does that, goes, and so again, it costs him more time and energy. And he's in a place where he, him and Cam are basically neck and neck. But the thing is, Rodarte really should be further along. He should be further along because of the time he's been with us. So I feel like he might be a good person to have a conversation with for your question. Mason, I'm going to call on you. So, you know, Kilman, if you want to chop on you certainly can. But what I would say is, Mason, based off of your experience, dude, like seeing people here as long as you have, man, like what would your answer to Ryan be of like, hey, you know, don't spend as much time doing this and spend more time on that. Like if you had to look at, you know, maybe the more successful members, if you had to look at Adam and Tony, if you had to look at Aman, if you had to look at Aaron Soares, if you had like, what would you say are some of the things to not focus on versus to focus on for Ryan?
Well, the first thing is, and this doesn't necessarily come from a place of, um, you know, it comes from a place more of me being a coach than it is me being a student, inside the program because I went through this myself. Um, but I think the first thing would be like, I would say like, yeah, your focus is the most important thing, but at the same time, it's like commonly what I see is the people that ask the most questions that send in like we do like check-ins. We do check-ins 3 times a week. Generally, what I see is if you're working on the business and to obviously Cameron is right in terms of your focus, but to make sure that you're focusing on the right thing, one of the most important things that you can do is tell us what you're doing. I think that's the most important thing because there's probably a faster way to do it. There's probably a better way to do it. The more questions you ask, now you know why. You're not falling down the loophole of making the mistake. And really, the way that this program is laid out is you make it what you want it to be, right? It's you can follow step A and then go to step B and step B to step C and then step C to step D, or you can go A to D. But typically, where I find the most success is the people that take their left foot and then use their right foot and then their left and then their right and try not to jump all over the place because um, obviously it's awesome, you know, signing an $8,000 deal, but at the end of the day, it's like do you want to spend your time working on this one-time thing and trying to make it work versus building the thing that's going to feed you long term, right? So as long as you can see past that thing and realize, hey, within the 3, 4, 5 months, probably longer that you're going to spend with us, the better that you spend your time, the better of the ROI that you're going to get. So might as well focus on the thing that's going to feed you for life versus focusing on the things that are going to feed you for a month, if that makes sense. So kind of going the Rodarte route, but it's kind of up to you in terms of what you want to do. But I would say the number one thing that I would do if I were you is make sure that you're contacting us at least 3 times a week and tell us what you're doing and what problems that you're having, whether that be like mindset issues, right? Whether that be, hey, I don't know how to do this. I don't know why I'm doing this thing, but To date, I would say a lot of my success is from annoying Koshik, like just asking so many questions, like straight up, like that's the reason I'm so successful, bro. It's like it's very rare that you can put yourself in front of someone that is so successful and be able to ask them as many questions as you want. So when I see people come in and they're not asking questions, excuse me, that it would make sense not for them to be the most, far ahead. So if I even pulled up, the private Slack channel, which I'm not going to show between, me, Cameron, and Koshik, you'll see that we're talking back and forth literally every single day. And that I'm not going to say that's the reason why Cameron's successful, but it's definitely a factor, I think, because he's been able to move as quickly as he has. Like when I first started, my mistake, I mean, I think he hit nail on the hammer. It's focus, bro. Like I closed a lot of deals in a lot of different niches, and I decided that I was going to try to figure it out. Like it took me an entire, like Cameron will laugh because I don't think he knows this, but like it took me an entire year to niche down.
Yeah.
So
So thank you
Biggest
for that.
bottleneck.
Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that there's 2 for 2 is niching down as being probably the biggest bottleneck that people are mentioning. So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess maybe my question was kind of targeted towards the smaller stuff. What I had in mind initially, like hey, look, don't spend so much time trying to learn all the intricacies, all the details, and like go high level, like don't spend half a day like figuring every button out and go high level. Focus on the sales scripts instead, or that's kind of where my head was going next. I can kind of dive into something in my focus, just go, I get tunnel vision. But yeah, it seems like it's kind of after that point, after that first sales call and after that first close, that everyone's like, no, don't sweat that shit. Once you get to here, that's your biggest hurdle, and then let it go, and then focus on the next step. So
yeah, I understand where your question is coming from, Brian. And I would say that just so you know, just to kind of give you peace of mind, if you think that, hey, it's any of the intricate details like hey, focus on the sales as opposed to this or that, you don't have to worry about that. Like that's never been an issue. So everything that we suggested, like, hey, you got to make sure your Loom is dialed in or Zoom or this or that. Like if it's there, you got it's important to do it. The big time suck, the big thing that kills people is those macro decisions, not the micro, which is what you're asking about. It's not the micro, it's the macro. It's, hey, I want to keep this client and do this, but I'm not really going to be good at this niche. It's the big decision. It's the wife you marry. It's the friends you have in your circle. It's those are the things that kill people or make them really successful. And the other thing Mason said is just like, if you're ever worrying about the micro detail, like that's the purpose of the daily check-ins, right? Hey, do this what I'm working on. Like yesterday, the other day, just all the question you're asking, like that's me and Cam. So just keep doing that and
yeah.
so yeah. Ryan, is there anything else that you wanted to ask about? By the way, we're going to start with you, man. So if you have questions today, we'll go and start with you, and then we'll move on to the next person.
Not initially. I think that was kind of where I was at. I've got 2 sales calls tomorrow, so I just picked up one from this morning. Did a DC this morning, and I've got a sales call tomorrow, and the guy's super keen, and it got to a point where I felt like I could have sold him right then and there. But I need to go and watch all your sales content, how to close that deal and put it across. And I kind of just wanted to do step-by-step process anyway. So I'll put that to the side just so I can go through everything and practice. But it feels like a guaranteed sale at this point for tomorrow night. So
Good.
I might ask you a little bit about it because it's not an exact brick and mortar. He kind of sells. They make bread. So they're based here in New Zealand. They make bread. They sell to the supermarkets, like to the wholesalers, the supermarkets. But he also goes to farmers markets to sell to individuals, but he also wants to kind of open up his own brick and mortar store where people can come to once or twice a week to sell his breads that he makes. So there's a few things going on, and it's mainly focused around social media growth as opposed to leads going in and buying something off him. So I think I just want to have a small discussion with you about the best way to logistically do that I can then present that.
So So he's doing something that's I'm pretty like a lot of brands will do that where you're cutting a deal with Kroger's or Walmart or some kind of store and they're the distributor. So the store itself like usually pays you and then you're giving it to them and then they're selling it for their own price point to make a profit. Usually something like that. So he's doing that to grow his business. And then are you saying that he already has a brick and mortar location? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like he's going to create a brick
Not,
and mortar.
no, he wants to create a brick and mortar location. He has a farmer's market. He goes to a farmer's market almost every weekend, and he's got to the point where he's like, I'm pretty big, but I just need to be a little bit bigger. I just need to learn. Like he's at a bottleneck of his business where he needs to hire more staff to generate more product for the supermarkets, and but he hasn't got like the cash flow yet to kind of start. It's like he doesn't quite know what to do as his next step. So I basically said like, look, I can I can get you all that social media growth that you feel like you need, and that brand awareness, so that you can go to supermarkets and go, hey, look at my following. Do you want me to bring this in here and create brand awareness? Hopefully, create a repetitive sales for the supermarket themselves, so that they can see the sales that it's causing, and then that should be enough to, I guess, it should be enough to persuade him to be like, yep, I need to invest in someone else to create the product, and then I can start working on the actual business and the brick and mortar side of it and building it up.
Okay.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of things going on with him.
Yeah.
He,
So
he was at the bottleneck where he really wanted to just like go up.
yeah. So here's the thing. You gotta so just for the stipulations for the game, right? You have to sell somebody on ads, right? And so you can, I don't care if somebody sells somebody on content and brand strategy and all this stuff, like that doesn't matter to me. If you do, great, that's the cherry on top, but you have to sell ads, right? And so when I look at somebody like him, he he doesn't have a brick and mortar location yet. And so trying to get somebody to pay you like 5K, 10K, and they haven't even opened up a shop, in my experience, it's not likely to fly, in my experience. And again, I'm just telling you what I typically see because most people are going to want to take that cash. They're going to want to open up the brick and mortar store. They're going to want to get the staff, the people take care, and then they're going to think about, okay, now who do I hire? That's usually what happens. So they might tell you that they'll do it, but then logic sets in when they really sit down and think about it, like, oh, logic doesn't even make sense. I don't know how much this is going to cost me as a down payment. I don't know the staff that's going to be involved. I don't know how much I'm going to pay. So they're gonna start thinking about that, and then they'll be like, okay, I don't know how much I'm gonna left over to pay Ryan, and then they're gonna hit you with like, okay, let me go open up the spot, let me go do this, and I'll get back to you. That's usually what happens in cases like this. Now,
Yeah.
that being said, that's that. The other thing to consider is like, so typically here, and I was just explaining this to Cam, with most people, what you're going to do is you're going to help to typically you're going to solve the client acquisition problem, which is getting people more traffic, more leads, more sales. And then what happens inevitably is now you get to a place where you have a bottleneck, which is okay, I'm not worried about getting leads. I'm not worried about making sales. My issue is I don't have enough sales reps. I don't have enough people within my business to deliver and fulfill for me. And this is the next problem. So people are usually solving this problem, 5K, 7K, and then this problem, they're trying like 20K for this. Because this is like, okay, how do you hire staff? How do you train staff? How do you hire sales reps and stuff like that? So what you're telling me, Ryan, is that he's not worried about this. He's actually worried about this.
No, he's worried about the first part, but he's worried about it all, and he's trying to do it all at the same time. And he's trying to find individuals that can help him do all of those at the same time. So he's got he's talking to a business mentor, a business coach, or a business advisor, sorry, about the actual business side of it. And then he's jumped on board here, and we got chatting, and then he's basically looking to me for advice of how to, because he's never put out ads before. He's just, everything's been
So
organic.
who would you run the ads to? So let's say he's not solving this problem. Let's say it's this problem. I want to make more sales. Got it. So who are you going to run the ads to? Consumers in the local area that want bread and that they're going to buy and then come to his store, or more farmers markets. Like who are you going to sell to?
So it's shit. Consumers in the local market. So he's with supermarkets in the local market. So he's got six, four. No, he needs four more supermarkets. He's got six supermarkets in the local area, like a Fresh Choice, and like you almost like dairies. Shit. What do you guys like a corner? Some of them are like a kind of a big corner store, like a grocery, a small grocery. I'm not sure what you guys call them in the States. But so what he's trying to gain is like 4 more supermarkets to jump on his brand. But he feels like to do that, he needs to run ads to generate more of a following so that the supermarkets can take his product a bit more seriously and get more brand awareness out there through ads so that people are like, hey, I can go there, grab that product and try it out. So he is thinking about the ad side of it. He's never run ads, and he was quite asking me quite a lot of questions, and he was really keen on the idea of generating ads to get more social media growth and basically more brand awareness to the consumers in this area where the supermarkets are at.
Gotcha. So yeah, so if we're solving this problem of client acquisition or customer acquisition, then his main strategy is getting farmers markets. And for him to get farmers markets, it's not paid ads. It's literally just going there, starting a conversation. But the bottleneck there is he's saying that if you were to have a conversation with them, they're not going to take him very seriously because of his social media presence and this and that. So if that is actually correct, I don't know if that's correct. I would believe that's correct if that's what he's telling you, because obviously he already has a few farmers market that he works with. So he knows what they're looking for because he's already gotten in. If that is the case, then honestly, when it comes to paid ads, man, you're doing like what Mason does, which is like follower ads. You're doing like follower ads to get like build up the following. So you're not actually even like the ads are not going to drive ROI. That's the thing to keep in mind. That's something for you to know. It's not going to drive any sales. And even if he tries to drive sales, again, like they click on an ad, where do they go? Because he doesn't have a physical location. It's not an e-commerce thing. So that's going to be a bunch of things to work through. So just giving you a heads up, if you're on the same page of like, okay, here, dude, we're just working on your brain, which is the very beginning thing you said. If that's true, then yeah, I think you got it. If he truly believes that, if he truly believes that, I don't know if that's the best strategy for him. Like on it, like objectively, I don't know if that's the best thing. Like spending, because a follower is going to cost. Mason knows like it's like $1 per follower, right, Mason?
It depends on the niche.
So yeah, I would assume it's going to be like 50 cents to dollar. So if he wants to get 20,000 followers, dude, this guy's going to spend like 10 to 20 G's on ads to do that. That's insane, right? For him to get inside of a farmer's market, that's kind of insane. It makes more sense there's other ways to build up a following to do that. So those are just a few things. I don't know. Do you have quite thoughts on that? Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on that?
Just it's not so much the farmers markets. I think he's wanted to get out of the farmers markets and replace them with his brick and mortar. It's the supermarkets, so it's the bigger stores that he's wanting to get more into. So he's got 6 of those, and he's wanting 4 more, and he's wanting to open up his own brick and mortar as well, so that he doesn't have to go to these farmers markets.
I see. I see. So if that's the case, right? So you're saying he wants to do less of the farmer market and he wants to go more D2C, right? Direct to consumer, right? Direct to consumer, which is Alpha Elite, Gymshark. That's basically direct to consumer. Again, the problem with that is going to be, and again, I'm just telling you just so you have a heads up, so you're ready for the objections. I'm just telling you so you're ready for the objections so you can handle them. The problem that he's going to have again is going to be, oh, dude, Ryan, that sounds good. Let me go open my brick and mortar location first, and then I'll get back to you. So just be ready to handle that, is what I'm saying.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on that one?
Nah, I think I can make my way through that, and I reckon I can get that sale, and
Okay,
then cut it, and then we'll niche.
sounds good. Do you have any ideas? I know we spoke about the other day. You said like financial advisors. Have you given it any more thought in terms of some of the niche that you're interested in?
I've been trying to mull it over. I haven't had a chance to communicate with a financial risk advisor yet, so like the insurances and stuff. But I think it's different. But I've seen since talking to you about it, I've seen 2 people running ads to try and generate more leads for like who've targeting this niche elsewhere in the country. I think one was Australia, one was New Zealand. So I know there's some people who are trying to niche down in that, but I haven't seen if they're performing yet. And I haven't had a chance to talk to a financial risk advisor to be like, hey, who's your market? How can what does your market look like? Do you have customers that are up here with big chunks of money, or, who are doing hard paying jobs where you get a ton of money if we can find those clients for you, or all your clients down here and you're just trying to work a numbers game the whole time. So I just want to find that out initially from them to be like, okay, yeah, if you've got these individuals here who bring you in a lot of, cash cows for you, then I know that there's a market to tap into.
Okay, cool. Um, okay. Yeah, I have thoughts on that niche for sure, and I'll send them to you through Slack if you want my thoughts. Okay. Cool. Anything else you want to talk about, Ryan?
Nah, not off the top of my head.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'll go and move on to the next person. Just, hang out, sit around. If you have questions, delve in, type it into chat, or if you have to balance it, totally cool. But I'm just gonna go around and we'll rotate. At the very end, I'm usually just like, hey, anybody have any other questions? So okay. So who have we got? So I think Cameron, you're first. Do you have questions for me, or do you have these are all like pretty much Mason questions?
Um, yeah, the main one is I got to wear these headphones every single time I record anything on Loom. This is the microphone I'm using. Oh shit.
Mason, do you know the answer to this? He's
I don't even know if anybody, I'm just gonna complain and one of you guys can chime in if you want. But like, uh, yeah, so this is the microphone I'm using. I'm using like these type of speakers. So like I'm kind of like in the trifecta. It didn't do this at the very start when I started like this whole course thing, but then after a while, I can't record one call without it being like Cameron, Cameron, Cameron. It's so annoying. But if I put these things in, it's fine. It's just if the speaker, I think maybe when the speakers make noise, the mic catches that. So then it records the noise that came out of speakers twice, and then it kind of does it maybe three times. But holy, it is annoying. I think I recorded like the perfect Zoom to send to you, and then it's just like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Again,
Um,
have you got padding around your room that can absorb the bass? Because if you've got nothing on the walls, like no like curtains, no like absorbers, when the speakers hit the walls, they bounce back and can come straight into it. So then you're catching a lot of the reverb going on.
No, I don't have that.
I don't think,
Um,
yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. If anything, that should just be something that helps that because I
you know what I'm talking about,
I
Mason. I
pretty
sent you a
much,
clip.
yeah. Well, I mean, I have
Holy,
like this is what I'm using. This is what I'm using to talk to, and then the my voice back is playing out of speakers. And when I record looms, it's pretty like fine.
okay.
So I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I would say send me a video of your loom settings, but then you'd be recording, so I wouldn't be able to see that. Um,
That'll be fine because it says my voice is fine in Loom, but whenever if I record this right now, all of your guys' voices would be the ones that are like crazy reverb and echo. But when I speak, it's completely fine. So that's why I think whatever comes out of the speakers, the mic is catching it like three
yeah.
times over.
I mean, what you can do. I mean, there's something that you could do immediately, and that's push to talk. So you can just set a button for when you do talk, you have to just like hold down the space bar, something along the lines of that. And if you let go, then it's automatically going to mute your mic. That could potentially be a solution for you.
Okay.
Um,
It sounds
that
horrible.
could, yeah. I mean, it's not horrible, but I mean that could be an option for you. Or obviously you can
All
click
right.
the mute button.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, I can look into it too, like for you, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are starting to have issues with Bloom, and I don't really know because I've never had that problem, and I'm kind of in the same setup as you. So
Yeah, like as long as I have these and it's completely fine, but I'd rather not. It's just kind of an extra step. I mean, my life's still pretty good, but if I can get rid of these, that'd be nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I look it up, people are kind of saying the same thing, like make sure you have padding around your room.
yeah, no, that should be the
But like I sent you a little snippet of what I kind of needed you to break down for me, and that I don't think that's rebounding off the walls. I think that's some serious like I can almost hear whatever you say to me like four times. Um, but I don't know. It's probably a problem for another day. My other problem is A2P, Mason. So you said they were kind of looking into um figuring out what is going on with my A2P. It's saying that I'll try to find it. The rejection reason is message flow. The campaign submission has been reviewed and was rejected because of the unverifiable website.
yeah. I'm still looking into that. I think Kilo, stop. Sorry, the dog. I think I know what the issue is, but I need it to be confirmed. I was supposed to have a call with GoHealth today, but I missed it because I was on a different call.
Okay.
So I'm gonna reschedule that for tomorrow. Kilo, stop. and then I'll get back to you definitely tomorrow on the A2P stuff
Yeah.
because I've
Sounds
had
good.
this call booked in advance for a week now.
Okay. Okay, sweet. Yeah, thank you. Um, Other than that, I think I'm just kind of in the process of doing some research to find somebody who can kind of pay I can pay them for their info and time for service delivery knowledge, but my main concern is, which is taking me a while to come around to, is just try to forget about it and only focus on getting my second sale. That video that you sent me, Koshik, helped me kind of get a visual. Because up till now, I think I'm a visual guy to begin with, but up till now, it's kind of been look at this piece of paper after you're done step A, then move to B. That's kind of what I've been doing. And I've just been doing it as fast as I can. So it was kind of nice to have a visual map as to what to do. So I'm just gonna be focusing on my second call. Um, Make sure it wasn't a fluke, and then I'll figure it after that. But yeah, I got
Yeah.
a couple calls tomorrow and this whole week. I just turned my ads back on, so I ran through all my leads, didn't get I'm still trying to get some ones that kind of got weird in the end, but I could turn them back on and I moved all the budgets down from $20 to $10 each. So instead of 80 bucks a day, it's 40, and I'm getting like 3 leads a day, which is fine. Um, I got like 6 calls tomorrow or so. So I got some stuff to do.
How many live discovery calls have you had? Not, yeah, live discovery calls, like actual calls. How many of those discovery calls have you had?
Live discovery calls
Not,
in the total time that we've had the ads on.
yeah, so far.
Oh God, I don't know, maybe like 30
30 discovery calls,
discovery calls, not sales calls.
like actually done them.
Like called them and some, yeah, I'd
Oh,
say
wow.
so.
Holy shit. Okay. And then how many,
Maybe a
how,
bit less, but it's been dumb.
how many sales calls have you booked?
Not 30. Let's see. I haven't updated my Excel sheet in a long time, but
A rough number is fine.
probably I can look at my calendar right now and tell you exactly how many. I think probably around 10.
So out of those 30, 10 have said yes to you to doing a sales call.
1, 2, 3, 15.
Okay,
6,
50.
7, 7, 17.
Okay, so 17 have said yes to a sales call. So you're basically converting 2 out of 3 people to say, yeah, I want to hop on a sales call. Now, how many no-shows have you had?
Um, I think at least 5. The other ones kind of just fizzled out. There was a period there where I just kind of didn't show up because I wasn't prepared at all and I just kind of pussied out. And then there's a few where I think probably 4 or 5 just were no shows. Like I was prepared for them and they just didn't show up. Um,
Okay, so 17 agreed to a sales call, 5 of them no-showed. Um, and then are you saying so 5 no-showed and 4 you no-showed? Is that what you're saying? Or
I think I probably no showed. I think yeah, 4 is a good guess.
okay. And so how many have you actually had live sales calls?
I think 5.
So you had 5 live sales calls and you closed
Yeah.
one out of 5.
Closed 1 out of 5, and then 3 of them were like weird situations where one guy hasn't even started furnace cleaning, but he's like, I'm definitely going to go with you, but I'm not going to start until October, so I got to get my ducks in a row. Then we can get this ball rolling in mid-October. Um, the other guy said he's going to slow down. The one that I sent you to review, then I kind of pulled that one out and swapped it, but the original one was for he wants to get started in December because he usually slows down. The initial reason why I reached out is because he's pretty satisfied with his numbers right now and what he's currently doing. But when the snow starts to fall, business goes down a little bit, and he wants to kind of ride up here rather than. So he's like, when I slow down, then I'll give you a call, but I'm not gonna like invest whatever I was asking for, like a month in advance. If that makes sense. So
Okay,
they're all
good.
kind of weird. They're all really good though, but yeah, I only closed 1.
Okay. So 1 out of 5, good closing rate. Ryan, this is literally what I was talking about. You have this case. Hey, I want to move forward. I promise I'm going to move forward just when the time is right. Happens all the time. When you start talking about money, it happens all the time. Okay. So and when I look at these in terms of improvements, man, holy shit, 30 discovery calls is insane. Um, Obviously you already know what I'm thinking in terms of the no shows that you could have been on, right? That's all you. That's all you, bro. That's all you.
No, it ain't. Yeah, no.
Okay, like let's just talk about that really quick, by the way.
I don't think we should.
You got, I mean, are these qualified people? Were they not qualified?
One of the guys I was just scared, man. It was like my second sales call, and he's like, "All right, dude, like I don't really believe you, but I'm willing to give you a chance. Like I've gone through 3 agencies, all of you guys are like full of shit." And I was like, "I'm full of shit also," but I was like, "Let's do this." And then as soon as we got to Friday when the call was due, he's like, "I'm gonna have all my boys on the camera." I was like, "Do you want me to send them invitations?" He's like, "No, all of them are just gonna be around the screen. We're all gonna be trying to call your bullshit out." He was like a nice guy, but a very like intimidating, dominant type of guy. He's like joking, but he's also like he's not fucking around either. Um, yeah, so I just didn't. I didn't go through with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I was like, that was the same day when I kind of like showed all you guys my slides, and like these numbers aren't real. If you zoom in, you can see them, and you were like, I can't really see them unless you point them out. But I was like, fuck that, I'm not ready for this. Um, so, but now my confidence is up. The other no shows were kind of just guys who were super. I was like, even if I close a deal with these guys are just dickheads. Like they are disrespecting me off the rip. Just like, dude, I don't like it does. I'm not gonna get married to you. Like I don't give a shit. Like how many leads can you get me and what does it cost? Like I'm like, all right, dude. Like if you're let's say I get you as a client, I'm an agency man. There's gonna be some communication between you and me. And if you're gonna be like this and our relationship starts right now, I don't want this. So um, yeah, those are some reasons for two of them. Yeah. What
Okay.
else? What else would you like to know?
No, okay, I feel better then. I mean, I think
Yeah.
a lot of people would be looking at you like, dude, you got sales calls booked and you don't show up.
Yeah.
Trade place with me, Cam. Okay, but no, I get it with that one guy and then the other people. Um, I'll be honest with you, like, I mean, you know, I personally don't think you can afford not to show up on a serious note because I think you just have to learn. There was this guy,
Hmm.
I'm having a brain fart. I forget his name. I feel like an asshole right now. But dude was like a complete asshole when I sent them the Loom video, everything, answered the onboarding questions, and then we hopped on our sales call. He's a fucking teddy bear. He's a sweetheart. And he just, there's like the saying, which is like, anger is just like a cloak or a shield for being hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
I
I,
mean, yeah. I mean, it was kind of like my debut. So I did like pussy out for some of my debuts just because it was my first time dealing with these certain people. And I was like, I'm already having a hard time with the nice guys. But this
yeah.
guy is just, I don't even have the mental like energy to even try this right now. Um, but I'm understand. I have sat through some of those calls like after you were like, just do it. Just kind of warm them up, get their walls down after you guys talk a little bit. Um, And I'm kind of realizing you got to treat some sales calls not spitting image from each other, but you got to adapt a decent amount. The core of it's like the skeleton's the exact same, but in terms of what you say, you might want to say some things differently or go faster through some parts, like getting to know them or reflecting on what the top points were. Um, Kind of maybe for that, that's usually where they stop me. They're like, I just want numbers, dude. How much, how much, how much? And I'm like, okay, but I still got to go through all these slides, and a lot of them are just reflecting on their top points for a discovery call and asking you to give me the hell yeah, just the requesting part. So I kind of am learning to go fast through those part and keep it stimulating just to get through it, so we can move on to the actual how things work over here. I'm getting through it. I'm learning. Everyone's so different.
And
That,
that's literally why I just said it. What I said is you can't afford to because you have to learn. You have to learn how to treat these guys. And then you have
right.
to learn how to adapt. And again, you probably know that from your duck cleaning days. Different kinds of people that different ways that you interact in the house. You have to learn it. You have to learn and put people in different categories and learn how to treat them. And like you said, it's the skeleton's the same, but it's going to be a slight shift, like small little things like, hey man, I know your numbers guy, I'm going to get right to it. Right. Small little trick there. That's probably a massive thing for certain kind of people. Right.
Right.
So you got to do it, man. Now in terms of things that we can improve on, I would say that again, 1 out of 5 closed 20%, like that's bang on perfect. The 3 out of 5 that did not move forward, though, that to me is a cancer that you must kill. And so I can already see it, right? So I can already see that this is going to be a massive issue. You said basically to me, out of those three, the 5 people, I'm sorry, the other 3 people, that the issue was, hey, it's got to get colder, or hey, something else has to happen. So pop quiz, what do you need to do from there? Like, how would you mitigate that problem?
Um, the whole thing where you kind of prep them for, I hope this doesn't sound too harsh on the discovery call. You just say this at the end now on my script. I added it kind of recently where, hey, I hope this doesn't sound too harsh, but we're looking for people who can get started as early as possible next week on Monday, ideally. If it's not Monday, at your earliest convenience, but no longer than Tuesday. Tuesday would kind of be the max for us, but we're not messing around when it comes to getting your results. And because of that, we want to respect your time, and I hope you want to respect our time the same amount. So if you're not ready to get moving on Monday, hope this doesn't sound too harsh, but don't show up to the call, or just let me know if you want to cancel the call, because if you have something to deal with, like all the objections that I went over before, let me know. And then I kind of go over. You probably know what that feels like when you go through something with somebody and they got to drop out at last minute when they said there wouldn't be a problem initially. But kind of
So
in a nutshell,
are you saying that this is what you are planning on saying, or are you saying this is what you've started to say?
this is what I've started to say. Because I
Okay.
had a lot of people saying that they want to get started in December, and then I take the
Right.
call and they're like, yeah, dude, like I for sure. And I sell them, but then they're like, I'm not starting until December. But as soon as like December hits, dude, I like please keep in contact with me. Like 100%, I want to go with you. Your sales training is crazy because we haven't even started yet. So you could train our guys. I'm like, hell yeah. Like I was a technician for 6 years. So we're
Exactly. So
aligned like this, but they're not getting me started. So I just didn't, it's
you
my
can't.
bad.
You cannot rely on these people. The number of times if I had a nickel like that saying, I'd have $1 million for all the times people said I'll come back. Rarely does it happen.
Yeah.
J- Jason, if he's here, is one of those people that came back. Kilman saw my stuff a while ago, and then he decided to move forward. It rarely happens. Rarely. Um, so here's my tip to you. My tip to you is you have a logical argument for why you start the ads now. So you say, hey, look here, like again, I don't have the solution for you. I'm giving you sales tactics right now. You have to make it logical, make logical sense. So, hey, dude, I don't even know what the answer is, but like, hey, look, I know most people want to get started in December, January, whatever, but we actually start campaigns in September. And here's why. It takes about 30 days for XYZ to happen. And then the real money comes in on month 3. And because of our campaign, what we do is we do a front end tripwire, and then the money is made on month 3. And that's when you got to have some logical thing behind it. It can't just be, hey, I'm just looking for serious people. Does that make sense? You have to have a logical argument of the mechanism of your machine.
All right. Okay.
So they have to think, okay, if I get started in December, I'm actually fucked. So if they start in December, by the time results come in, it's going to be February. And by then they're already missing out in 3 months. You have to show them, you have to use logical proof for that. That's the only way you're going to.
Okay. And would I want to use that?
You can use it on the discovery call.
Would I want to say that as a default for everybody, regardless of their situation, or specifically for the guys who say they're looking to get started not on Monday or in the near future, but 2 months down the line?
If I were you, I think I would start with probing. I would start with a probing question that you can ask is, cool, man. So, hey, man, so what's your revenue goal? Da, da, da. Okay, where are you at right now? So, okay, how fast did you need to do this? Like, are you on pace to doing this? Or are you like, do we need to increase $10,000 of revenue to get you on pace? Got it. Okay. So based off of that, I mean, are you looking to launch like this month? Are you looking to launch and like what exactly are you looking to do? How fast do you need things to get up and running? The reason, and then you make yourself seem busy. The reason I bring this up is just because, depending on how fast and urgent it is, we can either have myself work direct, we can have one person on your account, or if it's really urgent, I can be on the account as well as 2 of my other staff members. So I'm just curious how fast you need this up and running.
Yeah.
Now you probe them.
Right. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm not a huge fan of like the way you're saying, hey, look, we're looking for serious people, da da da. The reason it works for me is because I'm kind of positioned as a course career coach consultant, and because I'm saying a Loom video. Even if I hopped on a call, dude, I'll tell you right now, if I hopped on a call and I said that line, people would be butthurt and it would just fucking be weird. But because I'm saying the Loom video, because it's 20 minutes of value, the way I'm saying, again, remember, think back to your video, there's a ton of value. Like my Loom videos are structured in a certain way so that by the time I get to the end, people are bought in. They're like, okay, what does this cushy guy need from me? They've gotten so much value for 15 minutes where I've taught so much shit to them. They're like, fuck, this is worth money. Okay, this guy needs this. Okay, yeah, cool. So you know what? I'll be there. But
Okay. Gotcha.
you're not calls. So when you
Yeah.
say it, you sound kind of like an asshole a little bit.
Right. Yeah. 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 I've been wondering that too, because I think my show rate for the sales calls has been a bit weird, and not weird in the sense where the numbers haven't changed, but in terms of them calling and making an excuse, it's changed from just like ghosting.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but I think I'm kind of scaring them by being like, holy shit, it's already Sunday and he wants to get started Monday. Like, I don't even know if I want to do this yet. So yeah, I'll probably just, yeah, I'll watch this back and change it up.
Yeah, there's something that I don't know what the exact wording is, but something needs to be done. Maybe I can sleep on it for you, but something does need to be done to basically say, hey, look, we're getting started on Monday, or hey, our program is open only for a certain amount of time of the year. I don't know what it is, but
Well,
some
I've told one guy like, and it was true at the time, but I was like, to be honest with you, you're super lucky. You kind of slipped in the time when we had our ads on, and the reason why we turned them off and on is because we're just flooded with duck cleaning business owners who are trying to get our services. So I kind of implied that after saying like, just make sure it's on Monday because we have a stacked slot or whatever. I can't remember what I said exactly, but
yeah.
I think like that's a bit less like scary or like intimidating to hear maybe in a weird way. Just kind of like congratulating them. By the way,
Yeah.
don't take that lightly because you actually slipped in on our ads aren't even running anymore currently. So yeah,
Something like
I
that.
don't
Like
know.
that's good. You're congratulating somebody. Another thing is sometimes I would try like, hey, we're starting our next cohort. We're starting our next cohort on Monday. So that's where we're taking up all the duck clean business owner. We're going to be doing all our onboardings. So you're kind of implying like you have a cohort where all these on duck cleaning business owners come in all at once.
What's a cohort?
A
Oh, just
cohort,
like everything all at once.
a cohort is literally this. Where you have a
Okay.
cohort of 5 people you work with. So autumn semester, I work with 5 people. Spring semester, I work with 5 people. It's like a semester. It's like semesters in college, semesters in
Okay.
a quarter. It's a
Okay.
cohort.
Okay.
So
Okay. Sounds good.
So yeah, definitely we need to work on that, or else you're gonna get screwed, bro. You're gonna get screwed with all these people saying, I want to work later. Or either that or another solution another thing you could be thinking about, again, this goes back to service delivery, is what can you do that works really well? Um, what is something that you can do that works really well year round, maybe? Is there some kind of fast cash injection? Is there a reactivation campaign? Is there something that you can do? Um, you know, I don't want to say giving people a free trial, but there's just you gotta be my thing too is this has plagued me for years is I'll do it later. It's the hardest fucking thing to deal with. So you got to really put a lot of brain energy and thought into this. And just let me know your thoughts and we'll kind of go back and forth and build some stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds
Cameron,
good.
Cameron, what is your niche?
My niche is air duct cleaning. So like furnaces, cleaning furnaces and HVAC related stuff.
What is that like? Sorry.
It's
What?
like heating and cooling systems like air conditioning and furnaces. You know, when you turn a furnace on, it goes throughout the house. It's kind of like you just go to the whole system, including the furnace and the vents, and you clean them.
Okay, gotcha. I think you know what happened also. Like I think it's also have to be with the niche. So I would say like some niches have more like this kind of issue. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like my niche is probably difficult, or it's just
No,
something.
this kind of like for example, this kind of I do it later, or maybe they
Oh
take
yeah,
long time to get ready to jump in this kind of programs
yeah.
or makes
I mean, in the HVAC world, it seems like even just from listening to other agency coaches, even like Kohl's, it seems like they always bring up HVAC or Medi Spas. Those are kind of like the two big dogs in terms of marketing. So I think the duct cleaning business owners that I talk to are just railed with emails about getting them leads anyways. So um, I get where the skepticism is coming from, but yeah.
Yeah. The problem that we're solving, Kilman, just so you know, is he keeps hearing, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. And the reason for that is not necessarily the psychographic issue, but rather it's because duct cleaning is more it gets slow in the winter and it gets heated up in the summer. That's why it's so they want to wait until it gets slow. That's why. And so we're trying to mitigate that problem. We're trying to get people to say, hey, no, you need to sign up now, get started now.
gotcha. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Cam, anything
Mm.
else you want to go over? Do you have questions for me or do you have questions for Mason?
I think that's it, just the A2P thing. And by the way, like the one client I did get, instead of like giving them some homework, I kind of just sent them a thing saying, we don't have it. Let me see what actually. I just kind of went to ChatGPT to make it kind of sound decent.
What
But I
about
was
if you
like,
create a waiting list, something like that? You can look, I can have you on the waiting list for $100, something like that.
Um, yeah, it's possible to do stuff like that. But it doesn't, it doesn't work well typically. That kind of stuff typically doesn't work well. Yeah.
Mm. Because at the moment they see like, oh, there's a waiting list. Like, okay, so can I don't know, can be like a
It could be, but the thing is they're from ads. They don't really know like trust you enough. They would rather not spend on it, or they would rather wait 4 months. A lot can happen in 4 months, you know. So is it worth testing? You certainly can. I haven't had much luck with it. What I've had luck with is putting a deposit down to make a
mm,
decision, a deposit, instead of a waiting list. But Cam, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
yeah, the thing I sent to Mike, which is like the name of the first client, said, I hope you're doing well. As we finalize a few remaining details on our end, it looks like we won't have everything fully aligned until midweek. With that in mind, would it be possible to reschedule an onboarding meeting to next Monday instead of like this Monday? I truly apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. And I want to ensure you that the $100 deposit will remain untouched until we officially launch your ad campaign. The 1 month trial period will only begin once the campaign is live, so you won't lose any time. Please let me know if this adjustment works for you, and thanks for understanding. He just said, okay, that works. So,
Nice.
um,
Good. That was a risky play, but I'm glad it worked out.
oh, was it?
I think it was risky, yeah, for sure. Um, but I mean, it sounds like they're fully bought in, so that's why. So,
All right.
um, um, anything else, Cam?
Mm, nope.
Cool.
Pretty
Um,
much for we've already talked about this like multiple times, but my mission should just be to close that second deal and then continue to close deals and sharpen my script. But in my off time, which is probably gonna be a decent amount, just try to find research on how to do service delivery.
yeah, like as I'm hearing you, man, what is alarming to me right away is like the big things I would say to work on. And I sound like a broken record, but as I hear you, I'm like, okay, these are the cancers that must be killed. You must force yourself to show up to all of these sales calls. Absolutely. You must. And like, so what? He fucking bullies you. We've got like 5 people, but fucking so what? He's gonna sue you. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? No, you just fucking learn, right? You just learn. So you got to do that, and only you can force yourself to do that. But that's a cancer. You must do it, or else it's gonna kill your business. Two,
Right.
these objections of like, oh, I'll do it later, you got to be mindful of that. I don't know if you have been mindful of that. It sounds like maybe you've been mindful, or that's why you mentioned on the discovery call. So it's like you and keeping me updated, like, hey, Kushi, this is what's happening. And then me and you working together to figure out, okay, how do we tweak the script? Um, keep doing the calls, just keep forcing yourself. I mean, that's the first point I said. And then, yeah, the last one is like, yeah, whatever you can find in terms of service delivery. That's it. That's all you should be focusing on.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. And then in terms of keeping them warm and all those SOPs, I'm gonna talk to Amon on Thursday, I think. We're gonna talk around 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So I'll write a bunch of questions down for him to see what he has to say. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that there are. I could be mistaken, but I feel like most people, and you might do this down the road, but you might switch it to a VSL funnel instead of a call funnel, which is ad, opt-in page, video to watch, calendar, and then a thank you page. Because usually that's what people are running. And the reason for that is when you do that, then they do get the setter call, just like you've been doing, but they also get emails that are sent out leading up to the sales call. Maybe you've experienced that, like other coaching programs that you've bought into. Maybe you get those emails and they just keep you nurtured and warm. That's typically what people are doing. They're not typically doing daily check-ins or anything like that. Kind of like what we're doing here to like daily communication, like, hey, just saying something random just to keep them warm. Again, you can speak to Aman and see what he's doing. I don't think he's doing anything either. So, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. And in terms of like keeping them warm, the best thing you can do is kill that discovery call, right? Like make them want it bad.
That in my experience with the kind of funnel that you have, that's the best thing you can do. There's nothing stopping you from sending emails that are nurture as well. Like they go to your calendar, you have an automation, they get emails, same thing. Emails with value videos on YouTube, retargeting ads. That's something else I thought about. I don't know how practical it is, but like the moment you have a Pixel Fire, when they have booked something, now they get certain types of ads, right? Preparing them for that sales call, like testimonial videos, kinds of stuff like that. I don't know how well that would work. Just because you need a relatively large audience to be able to retarget that. You need at least 500 people in that audience. What was I going to say? Yeah, the one thing that I just really like, and again, this would be a very far down the road thing for you, but like a low ticket funnel, which is what I do. A low ticket funnel, something like that, something like a school group. Now they have a tremendous amount of value that's given to them before the actual sales call.
And when you say low ticket funnel, like have like a one-on-one coaching on how to, I don't know, any type of value for either free or $47 or whatever.
So you're selling something for $27, $47. They get in and they go through the same journey that you and I went through. So you get them to watch course material, you get them to watch a bunch of stuff, they get a shit ton of value. So they're looking forward to that sales call with you.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's way down the road. Don't.
Right. Yeah. It's something to think about though.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me know
yeah.
how your conversation with someone goes. Let me know if you learned something new.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of like, if I was to make a course, because in my dream world, I have like 20 clients, they're paying me, where service delivery is good. But in terms of if when it's the point where I'm focusing on retention, um, you said that you would maybe potentially be able to help me out with like making a course, or maybe that's where I'd ask you now if you think that'd be a good idea. So if I do these one-on-one like training sessions with people, on top of the course, but it would be kind of nice to offer like another thing for like one-on-one role playing or with their staff. They can just put me down in the room and break the ice, go through some lessons on what to do to go from a $200 bill to 2,000 plus. And then instead of saying you got to work on this and this every single time, be like, you got to go back to video this part 2. So then we can just keep on moving. I feel like that'd be a big value, especially if they can look at it whenever they want, in their off time. But what's your thoughts towards a course of any sort?
Oh, you need a course. Like you're gonna need it. So I guess like, yeah, you're gonna need it. That's
right.
phase 1, 2, 3, 4. That's phase 5.
Okay. Phase 5 of the video you showed me.
So phase 1, close your first deal. Phase 2, close your second deal. Phase 3, get them results. Phase 4, figure out how to get them results long term. Phase 5, create courses and systems and processes so that you can handle 20, 30 clients. And that's where you need a course.
Gotcha.
The sooner that's how I laid it out. But if you create a course now, like it's not going to hurt you. But the thing is, you're not able to create a course just yet because you still need to get the service delivery information.
Right.
But here in like 1 or 2 months, if you want to start creating course material, like we can certainly do that. I can help you do that.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. What Aman does is he does these weekly check-ins with his clients. So you could do that too. I tell Aman to do literally what I'm doing here. If you can get your duck clean business, which is not going to be easy to do, it's probably going to be more difficult to do. But if you can get them on Monday calls and you can just coach them all, that would be the best thing. But most likely for you, what you're going to have to do is you're most likely going to have to do one-on-ones. And what you can do is each of those one-on-ones, you can make it like a specific topic. And that becomes like a course module or a course lesson.
Right. When you say specific topic, it would be different sections for your time in the course. Like if I'm talking to you for the first time, it would be the same as I'm teaching somebody else for the first time, but the second time would be the same. I'm teaching somebody else for the second time, like step 1, 2, 3, 4. Or
so it's like let's say let's say I'm you, and then you come into my you come to my agency. It's like, hey Cam, let's for our weekly check-in on Monday, me and you, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over this topic and then that topic. Is that cool? You say, yeah, okay. And then on Monday, when I hop on a call, I record the entire session. I go over those 2 lessons. Now I have 2 lessons I'm going to put inside my course for other people to watch.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. And in terms of service delivery, reaching out to people who are experts on what I'm trying to learn, you kind of said it before, but the best thing to do is just to frame it as in like I'm a videographer and I have a client that's kind of looking that wants to generate leads with this. So would I be able to see your ads or how you guys would do things just so I can see if maybe it'd be the right fit for my client?
That's one way. you can ask Mason. Mason, so what Cam is doing is, and maybe you have some experience with this, but basically what Cam is doing is he's opting into these funnels by these duck cleaning business owner agencies, and he's just trying to figure out service delivery information. Do you have any suggestions for like some of the things you've done as you funnel hacked? Any tips?
Um, Not necessarily. Like you just have to go into it knowing that you're not really gonna pay for the program, but you want to be the thing like that's going to drive you over the edge is them showing you more of like what they do in terms of service delivery. So like I sometimes will go into the call and just be like, hey, I just want to let you know, like I'm a straight shooter. If it makes sense for me and my business, then I'd like to do it. I don't really want to talk about, what we're doing and what my personal goals are. I just kind of want to know what the system you're using is, how it's currently better than mine. If it makes sense to move forward, then I can go ahead and do that. But I'm very much of a person that wants to see the logistics and I want to see what you're doing is actually going to work. And if you can't show me that, then I'm probably not gonna be able to move forward with it.
I like that. I like that a lot. So you can give that a shot. And Cam, you can do one as a student. You can do one where you get somebody that a friend or maybe the girlfriend to do the other approach, right?
Right.
So, but I really do like that, Mason. Thank you for that. That's good.
Gotcha.
Okay. Sweet. Well, yeah, that's super helpful. That's all I got though. So
Cool. All right, man. Well, we'll circle back if you're still hanging out. Cool.
sweet.
Uh, Mr. Rodarte, any questions you had that you want to go over? I know you're saying you don't really have any updates, but anything that you wanted to go over? I'm glad that you're getting leads for 34 bucks again. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was getting nervous, man. I was like, shit, as soon as I get my demo done, like now the leads dry up. Um, but yeah, I had a discovery call I told you about. That dude that's like, I felt like a child to him talking to him. It was just like, he's saying like he could spend 100 grand on a month on ads, and I'm glad it wasn't on video because I was like, oh shit, like, wait, I'm in way over my head. Um, but anyway, I thought of some questions since you're talking to Cam. Um, well, I guess one question is, so I've changed up my automated text going out to like, so when they opt in, it used to be like, hey, can I have your website? And I would get like zero responses. So I changed it up to just be like, hey, it's Dan. I saw you just opted in. Can you tell me where you're located? And I've gotten an answer like every time.
Nice.
So then my follow up, and it's a manual one where I'll type it myself, and it's like, great. I asked because we got an exclusivity policy, but we're good there. Do you have a website? Do you happen to have a website? And then they'll go ahead and share the website. So how do I make that automated as well? Like, because like, what if, is it just a response like regardless? Because I don't want it to sound like it doesn't make sense, like if they say fuck off, and I'm like, okay, great, thanks for telling me that. Like like, do you have a website?
Yeah, I got
So
you. I mean, Mason, do you want to help him with that one? I would assume that it's like question and then response. Uh, there's probably and then each of them have like a different response. I know that there's a way to definitely do it with AI, but like I feel like there you can do this with Go High Level as well. Um, I don't know if there's like it's like a quick thing you can go over with Rodarte and you guys build it out later or
Yeah. You'd probably have to you would have to buy a AI hook in an AI system.
okay.
Like from what you're saying in terms of like if they respond, uh, will automatically send out another message. Like I can definitely do that for you. But again, if they're like, yo, Dan, go screw yourself, and you're like, great, and here, like blah blah blah, like that could happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, yeah. So I guess for now, just it'll be the manual response is probably the best.
yeah. I mean, the thing as well is like I kind of when I'm doing those touch points, I kind of like to make it manual anyway, because I think the point of the touch points is to kind of make it a little bit more personal anyway.
Okay.
My opinion, from like what I've seen, I think if the message that you're using is working and you're at a point where you need to kind of scale it up and make it make sense. I think that me and you could definitely work towards creating a AI bot or something that can help do that for you.
Got it.
But for right now, I mean, I think you're at a point where instead of automating the whole thing, it's kind of important to figure out what works first anyway, because I mean, think about what you just did. It's like you just changed one message and now you're getting all these responses, right? So instead of just building and then kind of questioning what we can do in terms of that, we have to figure out what other questions we need to ask to put them over the edge to make sure that they do get on that call instead of letting, an AI bot figure that out for you.
Got it.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Like, so
yeah.
for example, it took me like a month to figure out what my DM script needs to be to, book the call or to nurture people the way that it should work the best, because I was just throwing random things at the wall. And then getting to see where most of the responses were coming from.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm curious, just shits and giggles. I'm just curious why, like, where's this question coming from? Like, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Is it like, hey, just it seems like it'd be more efficient. But I do agree with Mason, everything he said in terms of like delving deeper and really figuring out the psychology of why it works and building upon it. Like I 100% agree with them.
It's just so I don't have to do that manually. That's the reason why. I mean, I got like two daughters, and like my in the mornings anyway. It's not an issue like this time of day or like let's say like 10 a.m. on, but like before 10 a.m. it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to like just get through my morning, and then but the message itself helped just changing that. And then like I just see my phone like, okay, got a response, and then it's just like I don't have to worry about that first step. But
Cool.
so another question is, I was watching I don't know if it was the video that where you were helping Cam go through the demo, but you say, yeah, or like even right now, you're like, we get started right away on Monday. Like ads go out on Monday, leads starting coming in on Monday. So my question is, what about the creatives? Like, does that not even matter at this point? Like, are we just because I guess like I thought like that was part of the sell was like, oh, we make a like, well, this is coming from the 6 figure 6 weeks is like, oh, we make a video for you. So like there was that time needed for filming. So I'm just wondering like how that works between like if especially if it's I guess before that I was thinking I would outsource it like using Thumbtack or whatever, finding someone local, but that I would think that would take like a week or so to figure out logistically.
Yeah, good question. So in terms of the thing that me and Cam are working on, it's more so working on the discovery call, not the sales call. Are we on the same page with that, Rodarte, or no? Or were you assuming that me and Cam were talking about the sales call?
It was the I thought it was for both because I've heard the discovery call like, oh yeah, we want someone to rock that's ready to rock and roll on Monday. And then on the sales call, I thought maybe it was Cam's sales call that I heard. It's like, yeah, we want to start on Monday.
Yeah. So the Cam's issue is that he's having people that are again, hey, I'm ready to rock and roll around December where things get slow. Right now, I'm good, and so we're trying to figure out how to mitigate that problem right now. And so the way we're trying to mitigate is on the discovery call by saying, hey, this is what we're looking for. Here's logically why you need to start now, and you cannot wait till December. So that's what me and Cam are trying to do. Logically, you have to start now, or else you're going to lose a bunch of money. And so this way they show up to this sales call, and when they show up to a sales call, we're still going to do the same thing. Hey, just really quick, I want to pre-qualify you, just make sure we're a good fit. They say, yeah, okay, cool. Just making sure you're ready to rock and roll on Monday. Yeah. You say, yeah, okay, cool. Second question, da da da. So yeah, we're still doing that now. We're just trying to again mitigate that problem. We're trying to prevent that objection, right? Now, your thing of like, hey, what about creatives and stuff like that? Yeah, you're thinking about the 6 figures and 60 sales funnel. What we're saying here, we're not necessarily even saying like, hey, we're launching ads on Monday. We're not saying that. We're saying is we're getting started on Monday. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean we're shooting. It doesn't mean we're filming. It doesn't mean anything. It just means, hey, we need you to transact now because your official start date will be on Monday. That's what we're saying.
Got it. So there's still that time needed to do like the creative stuff, right? Like the if like a video for them or whatever, and like and then even then, would it be
This has nothing to do with video. This has nothing to do with video, photo, or whatever. Because you like, I mean, actually, I want to hear you out. What do you? It sounds to me like you're under the impression that the moment somebody signs up with you, there has to be a time where you're gonna take 7 days, 14 days, or whatever it is to film, edit, and all that stuff. That's what it's sounding like.
sorry, my nose is leaking here. Yeah, so my impression was coming from the six figures, like, okay, we're filming it for them, but now it's like it doesn't seem like that's so important anymore. It's like not even about that, like you said. But I guess like on some of the discovery calls, I was meant like to sell, and maybe it was obviously it's my bad, but saying like part of the sell was like, yeah, it's a video, like a video tape like for your business, not just a random, video that doesn't mean shit to you. It's like actually,
That's what
professional.
that's what you've been saying. I've noticed that on your first sales call. I remember when you showed that to me because you showed me like you went into that the funnel we already have within the database and you showed that and you said, hey, we're going to create something like this. Again, that's the approach that you've been using.
Yeah.
That's why me and Cam aren't doing that. We're not saying anything about video.
I guess I didn't know the disconnect between like six figures and the seven figures. Like, well, when I guess I just thought it was
No,
like I
yeah,
didn't know the difference.
has nothing to do with video. You're making it about video. It has nothing to do with video. In the 6 weeks, the video part plays in the role because we literally lead with, hey, get a free video for your business. So of course we have
Right.
to. When it comes to this business model, you're saying, hey, we're offering you 20 leads in 20 days. Who knows how you're getting the 20 leads in 20 days? It has nothing to do with video. For all they know,
Yeah.
an AI bot that's doing some weird shit. It has nothing to do with video. So yeah, you shouldn't say anything about video at all.
Got it. It's like we're all video guys. So I thought I was like, oh yeah, we're all shooting video, right, guys? But no, we're not.
So the mechanism, like all you got to worry about is just like making the sale, and then whether we use video, whether we use photo, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like for example, one of the things Aman does is he does UGC content. That's his strategy. That just works for him. So he'll have his clients film some content. He'll like tell them what to say, what to do. They create it, send it over him. He edits it, gets it launched. That's what works for him. But that
Okay.
may or may not work for you. Maybe like for me, for example, if somebody works with me, they don't have to film anything, they don't have to edit anything. They just launch my gray background ad. It just works. So you might be in a place with your HVAC businesses where you just have something that works,
Got
right?
it.
Or again, I don't know what Daniel did. I think Daniel Rivera, I would definitely, like I said, be having a conversation with him and see what kind of ad he's running because that obviously already works.
Yeah, he sent me. It's like motion graphic type stuff.
Yeah. So if it's motion graphic stuff, then what does that have to do with like
Yeah.
any? That has nothing to do with that.
Okay. Okay. Lastly, this is the kind of like a rudimentary question. Silly probably, but I don't know how to on the spreadsheets. Like tomorrow's a new month, so I'm making room for October, but I don't know how to like copy the formulas over to the new column. Is that like a simple step? I'm assuming.
Yeah. So
I asked because I thought I did it correctly for September, but something went wrong
I got
where
you.
I lost some data.
So let's say I've got April here. I'm gonna come in, create a column for the left, and then literally all you can simply just come here to do Control C, Control V, and then boom, all of the functions should remain. So if I double click, the function is there.
Okay,
Is there.
got it.
Yep.
All right, that was easy.
Yep. What else you got for us?
I think that's it.
Okay. Berarte, how many live discovery calls have you had, man?
Total?
Yep. For the HVAC stuff.
For July, for September and August, I've had 23.
So 23 total.
23 total. I had 7 in September, 16 in August.
16 in August, 7 in September. Okay. How many of those agreed to a sales call?
I've done 6 sales calls.
So you have done live 6 sales calls.
Yeah. I did only one in September though, and I haven't done one with the new demo. So that's why I'm like optimistic because I haven't done any, and I kind of I would have had one with the old sales call, so I'm like optimistic, like okay, once I get a sales call for this new demo.
Cool. All right, cool. Fair enough. So how many live sales calls do you have? How many discovery calls do you have in the pipeline right now? Yeah, how many discovery calls do you have in the pipeline?
I had a no show today. This guy it goes like do not disturb like immediately. I don't know if it was like not a legit number, but including the one that was a no show, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from now to Wednesday.
So 6 from now until Wednesday. So you had 23 discovery calls. How many of the discovery calls said yes to a sales call? So I'm talking about,
What's that? 6 of them, right?
oh, you had 6 live sales calls, but so you have,
Like how many no shows you mean? Okay, so in addition to that, I got that for you. Scheduled. So there was an additional 5 that said yes to the sales call, but it goes to me.
okay, so 5 ghosted, 6 people showed up. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you got 11 people. So that means that about 12 of them said no to a sales call.
Yeah, or hung up on me, or there was a guy that told me, I don't know, like I'm full of shit, like Cameron said, and I was like, yeah, you're right. But I got a few of those.
Okay, let me look at your. So you got 13, and then 2/3 of them agree to a sales call. So, okay. So what I'm looking at is this. We got to increase the number of people that are agreeing to a sales call for Darte. If I look at Cam had 30 live discovery calls, 17 of them agreed to a sales call. Obviously, not all of them showed up. Not obviously, he didn't take all of them, but he's getting about 2/3 of them to say yeah. So for you, 2/3 of 23 is what?
Um, 15.
Okay. So that's not too far off. Um, yeah, not too far off. Okay. So if you have 6 discovery calls lined up, that means theoretically about 3 of them should say yeah, and then you should have about 2.
Okay, well let me
You
tell
said
you.
you said you have 6 in the pipeline, 6
I
discovery.
have 6, but take away 2 because I already had the guy that made me feel like a child. He scheduled his discovery call for tomorrow, but we had it on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, you already had the sales call?
No, sorry, the discovery call.
Okay. Okay.
So really for between now and Wednesday, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more to do, not 6.
So either way, I mean, the total start at 6. So 6
Yeah.
6 discovery calls, divide that by 2, and then out of that, which is 3. So that means you're probably going to have 2 actual sales calls. So ideally this week, you're going to have the new script to practice on like 2 people. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's cool, I think. Look forward to that and kind of see how that goes. Okay, cool. Other question you had for me or Mason?
No.
Cool, man. Well, anything else that you want to discuss?
I mean, no, there's no really update. I'm excited. I'm chomping at the bit really to just like have a sales call with this demo.
How did that, I saw you watched it through the call that me and Cam had. Do you feel comfortable or confident? Because like initially when we did the training at the very beginning of our call Monday, I didn't realize how fucked the PowerPoints were. And then me and Cam had to do a lot of Frankensteining. do you feel clear on that? Or I know there was a lot of weird shit that happened last
Well,
week.
it was a lot of back and forth, like because it was just a call between you two, and like hard to follow. And then plus my slides didn't match up anyway because the Cam took some things out. So when you were talking about slide numbers, mine weren't lining up. But Cam sent me over his. I think
Okay,
it's
he sent
so.
you he sent
Yeah,
you a PowerPoint?
yeah. He sent me his demo, so I'm just like copying that basically,
Okay.
and then I'll rewatch the video to kind of see like what the delivery looks like or
Okay.
practice delivery again.
Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was the main thing. It's just like I know me and him went back and forth. So as long as like your PowerPoint looks very similar to his and you go through it, it should do those things that we talked about, which is,
Yeah.
step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like these things, step 1 to 11. It should do that. So what I would do is if I were you, I would just, before your sales call, let's just practice doing that with your PowerPoint.
Okay.
I think that would help you. Cool. Anything else you want to go over?
No, man, I'm good.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Yep. Who do we got?
I'm
No.
gonna be hanging on, but my video's gonna be off because I'm like coming down with something, so I don't want to blow my nose or
Okay.
sneeze in the camera. Up
That's
here.
right. Mr. Q. I answered some of your questions. Do you have thoughts on those questions or thoughts on those answers, and do you have more questions? Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Yes, of course you can. Yeah, I have a couple questions more. And regarding the funnel, I couldn't find it. It's let me share quick my screen.
Yeah.
Where is here?
I think so. I know I asked Aman
It's
I think we put Aman. I think I put your opt-in page and your thank you page within our client acquisition funnel.
Yeah, the snapshot.
Yeah, because you gave me your snapshot. I could have sworn I shared it with the guys. Well, actually, Cam, how did you get your calendar page and your thank you page? Did you build it from scratch or did you build it from a snapshot?
I didn't build it from scratch. It was all Amon stuff, so
But
I
was it
can't
the
remember. But I don't
You
think I got it from there, Koshik. I think I don't know how I got it, but I don't remember. But I didn't make it from scratch.
so it wasn't a page within the 6 figures and 6 week sales funnel that you initially had. It was a different funnel.
I don't believe it was, no.
Okay. So in that case, Kilman, it's probably a different funnel. That's on me. I'll have to find that link and I'll send it to you.
okay. All right. Well, easy. The other question would be, okay, so in terms of the ads, to set up the ads, what would you recommend? Like, of course, I have to do a research, and if Aman also could help me out with what kind of people should I target and that kind of, things in order to promote spa service. Says.
Yeah. So I mean, my answer, which is like throwing stuff at the wall. Do you have like specific like targeting that you would do for med spas, or do you leave it open, or do you do lookalikes?
I did interest stacking, or yeah, I did like a bunch of different interests. I have to find it, or I could take a screenshot and then I pair that with people who are also owners.
No.
So
What
it's
what
like,
he's asking for consumers, not business owners. He's asking for consumers. So
oh,
he closed a spa. It's not a medical spa. It's a different kind of
okay,
spa. And he's wondering about what offer to run, and he's wondering how to do the targeting. So his question was specifically about targeting.
okay.
So for that, do you do open targeting? Do you do like interest or?
I do open targeting. So I do a 10-mile radius, and then I do 25 to 64 in age. And then some people just do women. I do both men and women. And then I put the offer on the top. So it's very clear. So I do a price offer, not like a 30% off, but like an actual low ticket price. And then if you can get your client to have like bonuses with it to increase the value of that first time offer, then you should generate really good results. And then if you can't do any kind of personalized photo or video that is more personalized to them, you'll probably get even better results. But stock image probably will do fine too.
I think Kilman's client is it's kind of like a tier one for you. Remember how we talked about tier one, two, three?
Right.
I don't know. This might just be like maybe just do this for fun. I
Yeah.
because super no, but if we pull up because so Kilman came up with all these different offers.
Okay.
But if we go to the website, yeah, that's too small to see. Kilman, do you have their website?
Yeah, it's I send it to you right now.
I'm trying to pull up that.
BA-spa.com.
Okay. Did you send it in Slack or in Zoom?
Chat, Zoom.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's not a medical spa in terms of the stuff that we're doing, Aman.
Okay. Let me see. So what are the services? So they got
They do massages, they do scalp therapy, they do some small skincare treatment, very light, body scrub, lashes.
I don't, I mean, what I was telling Kilman is that the price point is so low. These are like your offers that you use to get people through the door, but that's
Yeah.
not what it is. And I don't see in terms of packages, what I see is this is a $430 package and 230 and 190, and that's not enough. And so it's like it's gotta be, I think. I mean, you're the expert here, but my guess was that it was going to be the membership or something like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I would say, if her price points are like 100, then maybe do like try to shoot for like a $47 low ticket. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if she's just like really low general on prices or if these are just the standard because these seem like hair treatment. She has a deluxe facial treatment that's 900. So like if she gave like a 15-minute version of that for like 97, then that can be like the entry to get people through the door, and then maybe she can like use some of her other stuff as like bonuses to increase the value even more. But yeah, I mean those are already pretty low. Sometimes I even tell my clients it's sometimes it's worth even increasing the regular prices so that when you present the offers and the packages, it's more of like a gap between what they would normally pay versus if they pay for the package. But yeah, I would just try to see on Facebook ads what like prices people are charging for some of these stuff. I usually maybe on the facial side could help more if for those for any like facial stuff, that's where you'd want to do like 97 to 147. But I mean, again, these aren't really medical grade. I think this is just like normal facials. So definitely a tier one, like definitely not something I have too much experience in.
Like these are some of the things that he suggested. And again, I don't know what to tell Killman other than the same thing I tell everybody, just like you got to throw it at the wall and kind of see what sticks. But um, is there a particular one that you wanted to discuss, Killman, and maybe get Amon's feedback?
So okay, so I have the onboarding call today with the clients. So what I'm gonna do is this is another question that I wanted to ask you. So I will show three strategies to him. So the first one would be modeling existing campaigns, like looking on a meta library and just modeling that strategy. But most of them are really like just book now and that's it. Book now and click on the website. And that's it. There is not like kind of funnel thing. The other would be promoting an already proven best offer that they have. They have like buy five and get one for free.
Yeah,
The other one is a gift cards. The other one is loyalty programs, 10% discounts. We can promote one of those one, and the other one will be implementing a membership plan.
Aman, are you doing the reactive the stuff that you're gonna do for Nadia? Is that for the membership, or is that to sell a service? I messaged you about that.
The referral stuff,
Yeah.
that would be if they refer a friend, they
Oh,
both get like a $50.
sorry, I was thinking it was the one where with Graydon to sell the membership. I was getting that mixed up. I got you.
Okay, yeah. The membership, I think he just sells as like an email. So that goes to the patients. So the way I see it is, I guess a question I have when you were looking at the Facebook ads, you mentioned everyone's just booked now. Are you searching up a specific service or are you looking up like day spa? Because those are going to be much different results.
Yeah, I looked both. I looked at day spa and I look massages and I look therapies, but and pretty much all of it. I couldn't find someone like have like a specific funnel or strategy. Most of
Mhm.
them are literally just book now, and that's
Why don't you do this, Kilman? Why don't you pull up Facebook ads library, do a little search so we can see what you're seeing? I will tell you right now, I probably would not run anything that's working for them within their establishment already because that's different than Facebook ads. If something is working within the establishment, that's usually warm traffic. Those are their customers already. It's probably not going to work for Facebook. When I hear buy 5 head massages, get one free, I don't, that doesn't convince me that it would work on Facebook ads. I can kind of see Aman nodding his head. I don't think that's
That's only once someone's through the door you want to present something like that because people are going to count themselves out before they even see the full value. It's kind of like if you got on Discovery and then just give them the price right away, they wouldn't really know the value of it until they're like in front of you and see everything.
Yeah, exactly. And so, if you want to share with us something, Kilman, that you think is like, oh, this seems like it would work kind of well. I feel like Aman can very easily look at something and tell you if it.
Yeah. And the more
maybe.
specific you are with, the what you type in the search bar. So if you type in like a specific type of facial that they do, you'll probably get some better results as well. Rather than just typing like massage or I mean, I'm sure you did do that, but at least they'll kind of help narrow it down. Because like I know for, micro needling is gonna get different thing than micro channeling. It's just, so
Do you want to
maybe
refine?
try like
Do you want to refine your search term? And let's see if we can find something specific that you're trying to sell, like you said, the facial or what have you. Because if you just type in spa, like Aman said, every spa has so many different services.
mm,
Yes, should I type massage?
Type in like you can type whatever they offer. Like they offer hair stuff, head stuff, massage, whatever they specifically offer is what you should type in.
Scalp therapy.
yeah, I think that's gonna be a lot better.
Like products.
Yeah, it keeps going.
So regarding those three strategies, what do you think? What would you recommend? Should I show them and then recommend one, or how would you address this?
So step one is doing what we're doing right now. Step two is just present it. You don't really give them an option. Again, I mean, Aman's a little bit different. I feel like in your case, if you go in there, Kilman, with your experience level and you try to present different things, they're gonna pick something and that may or may not work. My suggestion to you is you do what you're doing right now, research, and then take that one thing and present it and just say, this is what we're running with. Here's why. That's what's gonna work much better for you. You're not gonna get resistance, you're not gonna get her to fight you or any of that stuff. Aman, you might have different opinions. For his experience level, that's what I would recommend. So I think
Yeah, I would go with that too. Like for new patients, I would go with like something that we find through here where it's a good offer and that you can use it to get people through the door. But then maybe you can like for the package, like, hey, if you're having trouble selling these package, then we can increase the value by, basically what kind of problems do they have? I don't know, maybe you have to kind of find what some other spas are selling for packages, but then try to increase the value of what someone gets through a package. Um, but yeah, so I would do that. And then for anything to get people through the door, I would just really try to sell the idea of maybe like a low ticket. See, so a lot of these have really good like offers, but not like any price points. Um, what is your client selling these for?
Selling? What do you mean? Like
Price. like what how much are they selling the head massage or the scalp massage for?
Oh yeah,
You just have to click on services and then it'll pop up.
it's okay.
Click that and then the entire thing pops up.
Yeah, so here is a price list. So they start with this one, but they have like kind of like this is kind of the same, but with more like features like hot towel, hair dry, something like that.
Yeah, it's just hard to know whether these are like actual full prices or if they're just a lot cheaper. Um,
I'm guessing that these are their actual prices for
let
what they.
me, I have the link, so let me see if I can find something really quickly.
Kilman, what did they tell you that they want to sell more of? The eyelash, the body scrub? Did they tell you specifically what they want to sell more of?
Uh, they would ideally would be this packaging
Which
or
one?
this
Okay. So the
either,
luxury.
Luxury indulgence pack. Okay, so those two. So that's
So
coffee body scrub. That's interesting.
what is it? Coffee, body scrub, sauna, herbal, foot, head, hot oil. Okay, so these probably and again, Aman knows more than I do, but I don't think that you're going to be able to run an ad and just straight up sell this thing. It's going to be very expensive. You usually are going to sell this on the back end. So so coffee body scrub. What is that problem solving? It's solving, I don't know, making somebody's skin softer or whatever. So you would want to sell something for like 47 bucks or 97 bucks that kind of sort of solves the problem a little bit. And then this is sold on the back end to add additional value. And again, I don't know what that would be, what that front end offer would be that would complement something like this.
I know for some med spas, they do for body contouring, they combine three different services together in one package for like a low ticket. So if they're trying to sell more packages that has massage, um, you know, foot bath and head spa, maybe they could do something where they bundle all three at a first time price so they can try a little bit of everything. Again, I have to like see what other spas like are doing for specifically like massages and stuff. Sometimes if I type in like massage 97, sometimes that kind of helps because I can find, but yeah, I'm having a kind of hard time. So there's like oxygen facial. I don't know if your client does that.
no.
Yeah, I feel like something that's 200 to 300 for like a specific service, that's where you're gonna have the best for like getting a low ticket for this 97. Meaning if something's originally around 400 and then they do the first time, maybe like a shorter version of that, but for like 97, that's where you're gonna have the best results. So that's a little bit hard here. Um,
What do you think about selling like something like a Forever Young program for $99 a month? Like some like straight up selling some kind of membership. Do you think something like that would work with ads?
I don't know. I don't think with the membership it would probably work. I would say, if you can offer that first month for a good price and then get people through the door and then do the membership, it may work better. I know sometimes for the 90 for the semaglutide shots, so there's like these weight loss shots like the Ozempic, and people will offer the first week free and or the first shot for free. And so maybe something here where if they have a service that's like 15 minutes and they can just get people through the door and maybe do like a quick massage. It's something worth trying just to see what happens when a bunch of people come through the door and then are they able to upsell them and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's kind of hard for a spot where I feel like weight loss, you have to stick with it for quite a long time versus some people just like to go to like a spa for like a one-time thing. So, but I'm just kind of throwing that out there.
This
So
was my kind of offer for the membership, like free body scrub or treatment value at 400 when you join the membership for $97 per month.
do you think that would work or wouldn't work?
Um,
So, and the ad would be free, but and then they click and they go into the landing page, and then they go through the process that would be this.
is there,
Ads.
oh, okay, so you're trying to sell the membership right up front. I haven't seen people like, I feel like if med spas were able to sell memberships upfront, a lot of them would have been doing it by now. I think with the body scrub treatment value at 300, 400, is there any way to include that with like a first time service? So if they do like a massage at $67 already, but then they add this bonus with it, then I think the value of it goes up. So maybe just taking whatever original price they have, but then adding a few things to increase the value of everything. So hey, with your first time $67 massage, like that's the original price, but you're gonna get a, a head shampoo massage, just trying to like increase everything onto it. Um, and then that way it kind of incentivizes. That way they don't have to lower their price necessarily. They're just increasing the value of like the low ticket since it's already a low ticket. That's something I would probably.
Hillman, here's basically what he's saying in case, because it's a little bit advanced. If you go back to like their website, he's thinking that what might work is if you scroll up to the top, maybe. Actually scroll down to the bottom real quick. So what is that package? 120 coffee, scrub, sauna, herbal foot bath. Okay, yeah. So what he's saying is this, and he's saying that taking something like the luxury indulgence package that's $430, doing something like selling that for $97 and you advertise, say, hey, this is typically $430. Here's all the things you get, maybe beautiful shots of them, the whole thing. And then when they come into the establishment, the client is either going to lose money or be break even. But then the idea is to sell stuff on the back end. So once they hop in, he says, okay, I'm glad you got this experience for $97 a month. You can be a part of our membership and that'll give you 10% off or 20% off of all of our services moving forward. So he's saying take that luxury indulgence pack, something like that, sell it for cheap to get people in, and then sell membership on the back end. He's saying something like that would work, unless
Yeah, it could even be like the retreat package where it's like 200 and then you're giving it for 97. And then maybe they can upsell some of them onto the indulgence package and then the rest onto like the membership.
So it would be okay. So it would be the offer would be a package, reduce the price offer of a package, and then bring them to the door, and then sell them the membership. Is that the strategy?
Yeah, I would say the only thing here that I'm seeing is that because there's 60 minutes, no, like I don't think your client's gonna want to bring people in for a whole 60 minutes because that's gonna take up a lot of their time. So I would say if they have like if you scroll up and so there's like a body massage that's $55. So with that body massage, maybe including a bonus of their body scrub or their shampoo service, and that comes free with it. And then maybe they can use those bonuses to get them and to incentivize them to book the next appointment. So what I mean by that is that they come in for the $67 thing, so they're paying full price for the service. They maybe get like a free bonus like service on top of that. So just so I can kind of show you how it works in like I guess my world in med spa. So if we're selling a $97 Botox offer, we'll offer a free facial on top of that. But they can't get the facial on the same day of the Botox. So they use that facial to book the next appointment. And then only if they come in through the door, then they get that facial. And this way, the more you get them to come back, the more likely they're gonna buy a package. So if you can just kind of maybe pitch that idea to them where, hey, you have a $67 thing, we should add maybe two other services with it, two other unrelated services so they could try out some of the other stuff, but only you get them through the door and then they can only get the $67, body massage for the first visit. But if they come in for the next visit, then they can get that extra bonus. Does that make sense?
So it would be okay. So it would be offer. The ad would be offer, like I don't know, $97, and the treatment is value in 4,800, something like that. Then you bring them to the door, and then they bring them to the door. They have the treatment, and they say, okay, look, if you wanna come back, you're gonna have this bonus. Is that make sense? Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. This way, if there's one or two bonuses with that core offer that, would take 15 minutes, 30 minutes to do as a service, they can they can incentivize people to come back. And then, it's gonna be a lot easier to sell packages when people come back 2 or 3 times. Kushik, did you hear that as far as
Yeah,
my position?
Yeah, so basically I'll kind of use my hand as a representative. So your ad is $97 for you get this $97, and then you get this and then this for free. So $97 is for this, and then this is free, and then this is free. Okay. And so then they're gonna click on the ad, they're gonna come in, and then you're gonna do this treatment, and then they're gonna have to schedule to come back in for this one and this one. And then what happens is during this treatment or this treatment, the business owner can come in and try to upsell a package or a membership. Am I understanding that correctly, Alan? Is that what you're trying to get across to them?
Yeah, yeah. Because typically, you can sell that to the business owner by saying it's going to be a lot harder to sell packages on the first time because people haven't built that relationship with you. Typically, when you get someone in 3 times, they're a customer for life. And so, if you can just get them to come back 1 or 2 more times, they're going to be a lot more open to one of these packages. And then you can present how you can make the package better. So, if you do present a package to them, like a high ticket package, that's kind of now you have the whole thing where you're using this to get people through the door, you're getting them to come back 2 or 3 times, and then you've even helped them create a package on the back end if if that's what you were doing anyway. And then this way they're like, wow, like not only are they helping me get people through the door, but there's a whole game plan that's like, this is yeah. So that's kind of like the way I would probably approach that.
One more time, Kilman. You create something for $97 or whatever, and they get 1, 2, 3 things. They do this first experience when they first hop in. They have to come in a second time to get this one, a third time to get this one. During the second and or third treatment, that's when you're going to sell a bigger package. You're going to try to upsell a bigger package, or you're going to try to sell a membership. That's the strategy.
Okay, gotcha.
And I see like some of the $99 stuff is like a 45-minute session, which is obviously really long. So if they have, a $67 session, the lower the ticket, the more people are gonna come through the door. So, if you want to just do one of those $60 treatments, that's more 15 minutes, 30 minutes, then you can start there. But then with all the bonuses you add, it's gonna make the value like $200.
Okay.
Makes sense, Kilman?
Yeah, makes sense. So I guess I guess at this strategy have to be like I have to explain to her like at the beginning they might have to think they're gonna lose, but they're gonna invest because the package for them is gonna cost $400, but it's gonna sell them $99. Does that make sense? So they're gonna think like, yeah, but I don't have something secure. I just have the hope they're gonna in the second or third visit they're gonna buy the big package. Does that make sense? So I think that's the tricky part to make them believe that that's the strategy, how it's gonna work.
That's typically a game when it comes to medical spas and spas. You have to get people in for cheap, where the business owner typically is not making a lot of profit. The profit is made on the back end almost all the time.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. I think that's the strategy. That's the part. Any suggestion or advice that I can just make them believe more, like in terms of okay, this is strategies, how does this work, anything?
Well, if they try to do their full price on the ad, if they want to do their $99 for the 45-minute session, there's so many other med spas who are fighting for their attention. As soon as they engage with one spa ad, they're gonna get hit with a bunch of spa ads. And so to stand out, they want to make as easy as possible for someone to say yes. And so if they see something where it's a $60 facial and then they see your client with $60 plus all these bonuses, it's a lot easier. It's a lot less risk for the customer to say yes to that because it's going to be worth their time. And so you just have to really kind of train them on the idea that social media people are getting hit with a bunch of ads, and you have to make it as easy as possible for them to say yes to them. And then once they come in, that's when it's a lot easier to build that relationship.
Okay, we have to do easy as possible. Do they say yes?
Yeah.
Then do the relevant.
You
Gotcha.
know, it's literally your experience, joining our program, Kilman.
Yeah.
You opt in for $47 and then you invested to get more support. You get more stuff. Another thing you can position is you can show her the statistics for the membership. So literally you have the statistics written out. You said each client on average is worth $4,000. They come in this many months. Here's the churn rate. So you logically show the numbers.
Yeah.
So they'll say, okay, my client on average, they're going to be worth $4,000. If I can get them in for $100, why not do, right? It's a numbers thing. So that's how you present it.
Gotcha. Now, so the goal is increase the revenue for 25K to 40K. If I show you here the capacity, where is here? So in order to achieve that goal, they only have to they're gonna be 18% operating in the salon. So the question is, they have a list of 800 people. They have 800 past clients. So should I also advise them, offer them to sell the membership to them?
Yes.
Okay. Sell the package, the membership.
So basically whatever Graydon has done in that video that you shared with me, same thing.
Okay, and what would be the membership? Do you think this offer for that already past clients this offer would be great?
So free. I don't know what the best thing would be. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. That's something you would have to work together with them on. Of, hey, what do you think would be great for $97 a month that they could get once a month that they'd be really happy with? Like, for example, if you get facials, most people get facials once a month. People that they really love their skin. So you can have some kind of a pack for $97 a month where they get a free facial every so month, and then 20%. I don't know. Actually, I have no clue if that's for $97 a month, they get 20% off of a facial, and then I don't know how much a facial would actually cost. Let's say a facial costs $50. Then for $97 a month, they get a free facial and then 20% off of everything else that they come in for.
Okay.
You'd have to have a conversation with them about that. They would tell you, they would have a better idea of like what people stick to long term. Like what is a package we can build that people come in every so month for that they'll think is a no-brainer. And the strategy behind that, by the way, is they buy additional things. They don't just come in for the facial, the free thing. They buy additional things, and that's what adds up.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. All right. Yeah, the other question is, I did a collaboration with another spa a few months ago, and my question is, should I contact them to offer my service, or should I wait they approach to me?
So what we have to do, so first of all, so I want to take a time to focus on the most important thing right now. So I've been answering these questions for you, and me and Aman and everybody has been, but the most important thing you should be focused on right now, Kelman, is not even this client. The most important thing you need to be focused on is niching down. If you're going to do medical spas, the most important thing is to get your funnel launch, stop having some calls, close some deals with medical spas. I would not be focused on anything else. So if you have somebody else that's a hot lead or cold lead, it doesn't even matter. I would say if you want to service these people, we'll help you service these people, but get your client acquisition launch and just do regular med spa stuff, just like Aman is doing. That's going to be the best route for you.
Okay, gotcha. Done. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Other questions?
I think that's it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Mr. You're welcome. Mr. Alma, what's going on, brother, man? How did you have the
Hey.
call or was it pushed or?
No, yeah, I got pushed. She says she had a long day, so
That's
um happens.
yeah, happens.
Let me
Cool, man.
I had a
Yeah.
Kilman, can I get the screen back, man?
Yeah.
Did you have questions that you typed in, Aman, or no?
I was actually typing it and then started hopping on the thing. So here, let me send it and then I'll just gonna go over the few things I had. So the first one was wanting to go over like when I do the hell yes, hell no thing on the sales call. So one obstacle that I face is, and I've faced this before and then I kind of like stopped doing it, but um I wouldn't say it's that much of an obstacle, but so some, a handful of people are like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm not gonna, and works out great. There's the one time I had, oh, I have to go talk to, someone that I really started dialing in that partner objection in the beginning. And then the one that I'm still kind of stuck on is when they're like, well, I can't do that because I am talking to other marketers right now. And so I have a few lined up this week. So what I do is I say, okay, that's totally fine. What I would like is at the end, we tend to schedule a follow-up call and you should know your decision by then after talking to these people. And by then when I reach out, all I'm asking is that you give me that answer. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So like there's two people where I've scheduled that follow-up call with. And I think both are actually Friday. So we'll see if they actually get back to me. So I just kind of made it clear, like afterwards, if you are interested and it's a hell yes, then what we'll do is we'll schedule out a follow-up call and then I would just like that definite answer when I reach out. They're like, yeah, absolutely. So would you approach it like that or would you not?
So, so first of all, like, so are these two different questions then? Like the first one is like the hell yeah, hell no
Yeah,
thing.
these are two different questions.
So let's talk about the hell yeah, hell no thing first.
Yeah.
So actually, because it's fresh on my mind, we'll do the other one first, actually, which is like, hey,
Okay.
you have marketers. What I've heard, so Tanner goes over this actually, and this is who I learned it from him, and I haven't tested it out, but what he said was, if you're speaking to other marketers, why don't you go speak to all of them first, and then let's have a conversation afterwards. I don't know. He didn't go much deeper into it other than that. And for me, it's like, I don't know that I even believe that
Yeah.
because I've had cases where people are speaking to multiple other coaches and they come to me and they're just like, yeah, I like you more than others and I'm going to move forward with you. So they might have another two calls lined up, but they want to move forward with me. But the other thing I've also noticed though is here's what I have noticed. Here's what I think for me is usually people will speak to other coaches and then I'll be the last person that they speak to and then they'll move forward. Actually, that's usually what happens for me. So it kind of is true what Tanner is saying, which is, hey, go speak to these other people and then come back to me. The problem with that is you don't know if they're going to come back.
Right.
In my experience, when you talk to somebody and they don't make a decision, they speak to other marketers, they don't seem to come back.
Right.
Experience. So it's like you got to be the last person they speak to. You got to either be the first or the last.
Right.
So I know you're looking for an answer in terms of what to do. I think we have to just see what happens with these two people, and then
Yeah.
you just let me know like step by step. Here's what happened, then me and you can try to deduce why what happened.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I don't have a definitive answer for you for this one, unfortunately, man.
Okay, so I'll follow up with them and then we'll see if, I just get that.
The
We'll
only,
see if they give me an answer.
the only definitive thing I can tell you from my experience is it's when you're the last person, it's typically they're buying from you. It's either you're the last person or the first one. That's been in my experience.
Right.
But whenever people tell me like, oh, I'm talking to this other coach, whatever, it's usually never a sale for me.
Right.
Whenever they have other people that they're looking forward to talking to.
Yeah, I think I've had that experience overall. Because they could be really bought into and they'll be like, yeah, like this is just
And then you don't hear back or something happens. How many times does that happen to you?
a good handful. for sure. Yeah,
Like handful as in like 5 or 10 or
maybe like 5.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, so I don't like to be the person where they're gonna talk to me and then they're gonna talk to somebody else and say they're
yeah,
gonna get I don't like to do the whole song and dance. Yeah.
yeah. It's just kind of weird because we go through this like almost hour-long conversation, and then we say the hell yes, hell no thing, and then it's like, well, I'm talking to other marketers right now, so. And I don't want to reschedule there because it's kind of or they're already so hot, and I might as well just get them bought in, see the value of everything. Um,
Another theory, and I don't know how well this would work, is ask them, say, I totally understand that. Would you be willing to at least put down a refundable deposit so that I know that I can count on you taking, I don't know what the words would be, but can I count on you would you be willing to put down a refundable deposit?
right,
We can test that out. We can see if that works. But the best thing to do is just to kill it on the discovery call and just make sure you're talking to people that are ready to rock and roll. But even then, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you're not taking the sales call. So it's tough with these.
right,
I'm sorry, I
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
to do.
No, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think there's
What what
just like more
what
volume, so
when you said you've tried it and so a handful of times they said they're going to come back to you and they don't, right? You said a handful. So it's never really worked. It's never worked out. Has it worked out ever or no?
um I mean, when I actually tried the Hell Yes Hell No thing, I think it was like in the earlier stages, and I just don't think my expertise was as on point as it is now. Not that
How
I'm saying I'm like,
what I mean is what I'm specifically referring to is when somebody tells you, hey, I have to go talk to other marketers first and then I'll get back to you. Have you ever had a case where that has happened and they did get back to you and they did actually buy from you?
not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I also don't think I was the best at following up before. I think when I was like working my job, it was just like if they get back to me, which I knew wasn't the best practice or anything, but whereas now I think I'm a lot better at actually following up and all that. So I think this will be the first time where I actually like try calling. I don't know how many times I've really remember at least giving him like multiple calls. The only times that's really happened was when it was like a finance thing. So it was, oh yeah, let me just move some money around and and then give me a call on this date. There's been many times for sure that I've reached out and then they just didn't answer. When it came to like they were really bought in, they were saying they're moving something, but I don't remember as far as marketing. I think this is gonna be the first time where I'll at least consciously remember to like really follow up with them and but yeah, I can maybe go back to some old leads and see if that's happened before. But um
So you're saying to me that you haven't had a case where they have said they'll get back to you, they're working with them, they're talking to other marketers, they've gone back to you, and you're saying to me you have two cases that just said that to you, and you're going to see if they come back to you.
right.
And the
Well,
difference this time around, and the difference this time around is one, you're going to actually follow up with them. You have more conviction. That's what you're saying. The different variable is this time around.
right.
So
Actually, I
what's
think
go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I think one is the marketer thing. I think the other one was the finance thing. So the other one was um might have been yesterday where she's like, okay, like I'm gonna make this happen. Just like I just have to move stuff around. Again, I've heard this before, so I'm not big on that one. The one that was I have one more call. There's just some things that I don't really like about them, but they may be able to work out something. So Friday I'll know for sure I have to make a decision. So that one is like a hard, like I'm talking to other marketer. Um and then I'm pretty sure there's been one or two before. I can't remember if I followed up with that. I just have to kind of go back and check because I want to say there's maybe two other times this happened where it was like other marketers, and then they said they would get back to me, and I want to say maybe one gave me an answer, but again, I have to check.
Mm. But you've never done a thing of like collecting a deposit. It sounds like you haven't done
Never
that.
collected a deposit.
So it sounds to me like you're not working through Cole Gordon's. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, that Cole Gordon's thing doesn't really apply here. Cole Gordon's thing does apply for the one that has to move finances around. So if she says I have to move finances, it's like, okay, that's totally cool. Can you put down a deposit just to make sure that you and I are just on the same page and you have some skin in the game so I know that this is the case and I'm not chasing you down. That's something I think I would have done for that one. I think I would have done
Okay.
that.
So like
$100.
for finance, but they're fully bought in and it's just a finance thing, then we can take a deposit.
Yeah, I think so. If for that
Should it
one,
be
like,
like a refundable or
huh?
should it be like a refundable thing or for the finance one at least, or just pay the deposit, like $100 deposit?
Yeah, I don't know that I would even say the word refundable deposit on that one. I'd be like, okay, I totally understand. Would you be just so I know that we're on the same page and I'm not, some smoke and mirrors, no offense. Would you be willing to put down a deposit so I know I can count on you? I don't think you have to say refundable because what does refundable apply? Think about it. What does refundable apply?
Right.
Refundable implies in case you want to back out, in case you
Right.
want to somebody else.
Right.
So why do they need a refund? It's like, are you
Right.
bought it? You are? Okay, well then put a deposit down. That shouldn't be an
Right.
issue. So
Right.
that would be my tip for you with that one. When it comes to the other marketers, two things are brewing in my head. One thing that's brewing in my head is a deposit, but like I don't think they're gonna want to put down a deposit because they're basically telling like, hey man, I'm still dating around. I'm gonna go check out some other people. It's like I don't think a deposit would actually what I think would might work better is like a trial actually, or something to just get the money immediately.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so got it, Jane. So that totally makes sense in terms of you speaking with other marketers. Um, how about this? Look, I've done this whole song and dance before, and what I'd like to offer you is, I don't know, I don't know what that would be, but it would be like get something to like, would you be willing to allow us to run $100 campaign for you just to show you that our stuff works? And then instead of you needing to spend all this time and energy speaking to all these marketers, we basically make you some cash right up front to help you make that decision. Does that make sense? The logic there is like, okay, if you give me $100 and you allow me to run some ads and do a reactivation campaign for you, you're going to see results as opposed to you're going to spend the next 5 days, 2 hours here, 2 hours here, 2 hours here, and then stressing yourself out. That's kind of the
Right.
logic. I think it could be potentially worth testing something like that.
Could be. Could be. It's just yeah, they would have to be one really qualified just so I can get them fast results. Like they would have to have that list. Um, and then two, yeah, I feel like even then they're still kind of taking that risk because if they do the $100, it's kind of like that one guy that was like, "Hey, you can trial this for the month for 1,000." And he's like, "Well, what if I do that and then I lose that connection with the other marketer?" I feel like I could see that happening. Again, not saying it's not worth testing, but I think if I'm in their shoes, I would be like,
But
"Well, what if
you
these
got to,
people work?"
I think you got to do something because in our experience so far, it hasn't panned out. And in my personal experience, it doesn't pan out. Once they're gone, they're gone. So it's like you got to do
Right.
something. I don't know what that thing is, but you got to do something.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of look at it is like you don't want to be, here's the thing, you don't want to be too pushy in sales, right?
Mhm.
But it's like the way I look at those experiences is like, look, if I don't say something, if I don't do something, I'm going to lose them forever. So why not be a little bit pushy?
Right.
That's logic. So it's like if I don't say anything, they're gone for sure, or there's a 99.9% chance that they're gone. If I am pushy, then maybe I push them away, but I'm at least taking a shot at collecting something and potentially making something work. That's kind of my logic.
Right. Yeah, maybe we could think of something. I can also maybe show you at those moments when they bring it up and how they explain things. So maybe I could like do the loom, put the timestamp on both the hell yes, hell no part, and then at the end part. And then if you want to check out how they say things, but again, I think you have the general information. It's just kind of figuring out how we need to. But maybe you see something with the way I say it or like how they're saying things. So you're like, oh, this is just a smoke screen. Like,
And then yeah, no, please send it over timestamp. I'll happy to have a look, bro. Are you saying that all of these cases you were blindsided where you didn't know that they had a marketer until you went to the hell yeah, hell no thing?
well, I just didn't know they're talking to other marketers. So we're
But
talking about I talk about their past experience, but um, but yeah,
So no, my question is this, is like, did you already know that they have other marketers that they're going to be speaking to after your call? When do you find that out? Do you find that out during the
I
Hell Yeah
usually
Hell?
find out then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's probably a
Okay.
big part of it too.
So the thing that we can work on there is my suggestion would be, let's try to figure out what you can say or do on the discovery call to
Right.
prevent. That would be that's what I would say.
Yeah, I think that'd be smart.
Okay, so let's do that. I think that's the move then. Instead of us trying to fucking figure out deposit, whatever, like I think we're playing the video game at level difficulty hard where we don't need to. I think the
Right.
solution is to kill this on the discovery call. So we need to think critically about what we can say on the discovery call. So, hey, so have you had experience with other marketers? Got it. How has that been so far? Are you speaking to, aside from us, like, are you currently speaking to any other marketers? Got it. How do you feel about it so far? Like, I don't know what we need to do, but
Right.
we need to say or do something, preparing them for the sales calls. Like, I got it. So, do you actually want to have a conversation with them before having a conversation with us? Again, that could be a bad thing.
Right.
But we got to do something on the discovery. I don't have a solution for you or an answer for you, but the solution is the discovery call for sure. The solution is the discovery call. The solution is the discovery call and the beginning of the sales call. That's the solution.
Right.
Not waiting all the way till the hell yeah, hell no. That's the solution.
Right.
So I would say after this, if you want to message me and just say, here's some of my thoughts, and then I can like bounce those off of you. I don't have anything right now. My brain's a little bit fried right now,
Okay.
but um,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. And I mean, I guess overall, if the numbers end up looking healthy, then ultimately that'll be what matters. But if obviously right now, if my numbers aren't looking, but what I'm saying is, if it's like a low percentage of people that we find overall is doing that, then maybe it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a thing where we bring it up and make it an obstacle if we're talking to people.
Yeah.
Because maybe there are a few of them that just decide to go with me, and I didn't even realize they were talking to other marketers.
Yeah. I mean, so how many, so you said this has happened to you 5 or 6 times. How many sales? So 5 out of like how many sales
That's
calls
like over the course of maybe
Oh,
however many episodes of that. Yeah.
okay. We're speaking as if this is something you get like a third of the time.
Yeah, I don't think I think I've only noticed it more. Yeah, yeah. I would say for the most part it's a lower, maybe 5 to 10%.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. I think just because I've only done the hell yes, hell no thing a few times, and I like 50%, it's yeah, I have to talk to my partner. Cool. I just implemented that more as a qualification, really drilled on that more. Um, the other one is I forgot. There was another one where it wasn't either, but it was like I just don't know if I can say yes today or something like that. So I may have to kind of go back and really listen to what was actually going on there. That was the one that I said was more the finance towards the end where we scheduled something on Friday. And then one was the other marketers. I think I've heard it twice while doing the hell yes, hell no thing. So that might have
So
been like
try this as well.
mhm.
Um, this was my case with Ryan actually. Uh, Ryan, I forgot to say the hell yeah, hell no thing at the right time. And so maybe you can give this a shot. Because I caught myself, Ryan. I screwed up with you, but I caught myself. So usually I say the hell yeah, hell no thing before the presentation, right? And I forgot. And so then I went over the hell yeah, hell no thing right before the price. So here's the distinction. I think that could actually be the right move. The reason for that is if you do a fucking killer job on the presentation, right? You do a fucking killer. If so, think about it like this. The presentation is here. There's so much value here. You do that hell yeah, hell no thing, you're gonna get some resistance because they don't even know what value you can provide.
Right.
You do the whole presentation and then you do the hell yeah, hell no thing before the price. Now it's like, well, fuck, this guy gave me so much value. I don't want to piss him off.
Right.
So that could be something you test out. I think that's actually the right move. I think that's the right move
I think so too, because the feeling I've been getting from like when I do the hell yes, hell no thing is that they're like, oh well, it's just like I haven't really built that full report.
So let's make that another thing you want to test out maybe moving forward.
Okay, I'll
I
try
can
it.
tell every time you talk to me about hell yeah, hell no, it feels like it's like pulling teeth for you.
Yeah, it is. Like I haven't like I've only had a few experiences, and even then it's not even like I got the yes. So I don't know. I haven't seen it in a way where I'm like, oh yes, this is good. It just kind of feels like a added friction to the whole process. Which, I'm not trying to say it doesn't work.
I
I'm
think
just
part of
trying to
it,
master it or
I think part of it is one, the niche, two, the funnel people are coming for. It's a call funnel as opposed to like a course. So you haven't built a tremendous amount of value. And then women, straight up women, bro. The only person I've ever gotten resistance from, and Ryan, you're laughing. I've only ever gotten resistance from one person ever when I said the hell yeah, hell no thing. And guess what? That person had a vagina. Okay. It's never happened with a dude. Every single time I talk to a dude, they're all like, yeah, dude, that sounds fair to me. So I think a big
yeah.
part of it, and we're just talking shit. I don't have like a solution for that.
Well, Hunter did it with a woman. In his video, it was a chiropractor.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I'll say is there's a higher probability of it being an issue with women than men, for sure.
Right.
I don't know how
Right.
bad of it is. But like every time I've sold to a female, bro, like I remember Keely jumped in a program, bro. I did 5 sales calls with her. Like it was insane to get her ready. That's the thing with women. They're so indecisive. So that's part of it too. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, main takeaway is build up value and then do the hell yeah, hell no right before the price. Give that a shot.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Cool. So that answers that. The second thing was, so I've been trying to do the qualifying. Again, only had few instances so far, so I need more reps. But basically, I'm, seeing if they can spend $50 in ad spend. And then the first lesson I learned was that when I told them, they were like, oh, we can start with 30. And I've had people that start with 30 but still move forward. So I didn't want to count them out as not financially qualified. The first mistake I made was just not making it super clear to these specific people. They were a lot newer business. I didn't even feel comfortable pushing for a demo. I don't know why I did, but they thought that was gonna be the price to move forward. And so when I literally got to the end and I reeled it, they're like, no, we're not interested. I was like, okay, well, at least they're saying hell no. And so that was fine. I just had to
Wait. I just want to make sure I understand. So you told them $30 per day. They're a smaller business. You felt uncomfortable, but you still said $30 per day. They get all the way to the end, and then you do the hell yeah, hell no, and they say no. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, they said no. Because he's like, oh, there's a marketing fee. And so I just
So
didn't. I thought, usually I make it really clear, but I guess with them I didn't.
so when you said the hell yeah, hell no, the hell yeah, hell no is to make a decision. They said no, I'm not. The decision is straight up no, and we're not even moving forward because there's additional costs.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, which so that was one instance. So I was like, okay, there was like a way where maybe I just had to really pre-frame like, to them specifically based on our conversation that I should have made that more clear. Two, the other one was, she was like, $50. I think I would feel more comfortable starting with 30 or 35. So I was like, okay, for 35, we just have to we have to make the guarantee based on what results 35 can. So we, came with the guarantee. She was very comfortable with that. And then we get to the end, and that's where she was like the whole finance thing. And she was like, yeah, call me on Friday, and I'll have the finances sorted out. But I'm starting to think, okay, if a lot of them are saying like if it becomes a thing where if we have to lower the ad spend, they're probably not financially qualified. So I'm wondering like if they go under 50, should I just not even push for because I think I've had experience where I've had people that start on 25, but then but still moved on the at least the 1250. But again, they tend not to get the best results anyway. So maybe in general, I should just not say yes to those people.
So what I so I think you've caught on to the same thing I caught on to, which is I basically say that $50 per day, and it's kind of like my way of seeing like if I freak somebody else out or not. And I know that if somebody says no, I can't do $50, I'm like, all right, the sales ain't gonna happen anyways. So I understand that. I understand the logic there. But the thing is, I feel like again, I'm not in the trenches with you on this one, but I just feel like you could get so many people financing, man.
Right. Yeah, I think for them it could be also, well, yeah, I think financing, it's so hard with people under 10K, who aren't, yeah, because these people are making under 10K. So, and they tend to be like solo estheticians, and I'm just like, I just want to at least have one or two closes. So if I can just get someone like a 1250 to start it, like it's fine. I'm happy to do that for now. So that's just kind of where,
If you're asking the question of like, do you not pursue the sales call? Is that what you're saying?
yeah. Or is there a better way if they're making 30, is there a way I can maybe preface, at least figure out a way where, I guess is that your ultimate answer is just figure out the financing? Because I have like on the Go High Low, it says like you could choose Cherry, but I don't know if I have to set something up. I know I like turn something on, but I don't know if there's like a whole thing I have to set up to help someone get financing.
Yeah, I think you should really focus on getting people financing. You got to learn the skill, like, and that just means your presentation, sales, everything has to be dialed in even better to give people such
Yeah.
belief will make the money. Literally me and Ryan, he's talking to the wifey and kind of explained to her how the numbers work and stuff like that. It's he believes, you got to create that belief. And that means you just have to get better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, I'm working with people that don't make 10K a month. You know what I mean? And
Right.
people are that ways to afford it. Um, so that would be my first thing to you. My second thing to you is I think you should keep taking them. I think you should keep taking them. And I think there are two plays. And so the way I would view it if I were you is like I'm going in for batting practice. Yeah, it's not a good sign, but either one, I'm going to practice my skills of trying to
Yeah.
get financing. And I'm just going to keep throwing shit at the wall until something works for somebody and be like, fuck it, that's the script, that's the process. Or two, it's the downsell move. It's one of those, but there's no reason not to take it.
Yeah, that's where my head was at. It's like, I don't really want to work with them, but I know I can at least run a few ads for them. I know I can probably help them set up a package so they're good enough, and they're gonna be, they're not gonna get the best results probably because I find that those who are over 20K have a staff, they just have more systems in place where it makes it easier for them to do more calling and stuff. Um, but but yeah, I think they're so worth testing or like testing my demo scripts and taking them on just, just for that.
Is there some, remember those downsells things that we were talking about? Would any of those apply or would they not apply? Like, could those work or not
No,
work?
I think they need to like the whole package, yeah.
So
Unless I
like,
did like a first month trial for 500 and then they could pay off the rest for the 3,000.
gotcha. So none of those three, because these are smaller businesses, they need help with that traffic, they need help with the lead nurture, they need help with the packages. These are bit smaller businesses, so they need all, as
Yeah,
opposed to that don't need it are typically bigger businesses and they
yeah,
need only
bigger.
single thing. So this strategy wouldn't work. So then it's gotta be the financing, bro. Um, yeah, it's gotta be the financing.
How does
That-
like I know because I was trying to look up like financing. Is it I help them set up financing or it's just something that I set up once and then anyone can apply? Like
yeah,
I guess how do you do it when you walk through
I have
someone?
different types, but um, so for me, if you want, you can reach out to East Consulting. I'm gonna see if I can get their phone number from you for you. Um,
Okay.
I can't even log in right now. Shoot, I'm sorry. Let me,
Or
I don't remember my path. I don't even remember what this shit is. But anyways, once I'm logged in, it's literally just like it's like a page and it's got some information on it. And I just like explain to them, hey, it's going to take you less than 5 minutes. You're not going to get dinged or anything like that. And we'll know within 5 minutes whether you're approved or not. Would you like to at least give it a shot and see if you can get you finance? And that's how you position it. You're not saying, hey, you're going to pay me. It's like, hey, let's just see if we can even get you the funds. And they're usually down. And so then I'll send them a link. They'll click the button. They'll answer the questions. And then it'll say, hey, we're going to send you an email and let you know. And that's it. And then if they get the financing, well, then boom, they're good to go.
right.
I have some cases where people will say, hey, Kushik, let me go get a credit card. Let me go get a business line credit. That's less rare. That's more rare. It's like
Yeah.
this is what if you give people the homework of go get a credit card, go get this, they're usually not going to do it because it's hard for me to explain. I've had people do that, but the people that typically do that are the people that have like purchased a course back in 2019. I'm having a conversation with them in 2023. So there's a bunch of value, they've gotten some results and all this stuff, and so they're willing to go put that work. But if it's somebody cold traffic like your case, they're usually not going to be likely to do that. And so in my experience, you have to make it like this, like, hey, pull this up, I'll go and set this up for you. So if I'm you, homework would be looking at Ease Consulting, I'll send you their stuff. If you want to message me, I'll send it to you. Ease Consulting, Affirm, Afterpay. And so look into that. Like, how do you go into Affirm and actually get a setup? Do it right then and there with them. Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna. Like you got to do it right then and there with them. And the way you position again is got it. So, and I'll go into like, okay, well, what if we could get you the funding? Like, I mean, would that help? Got it. Okay, well, if that's what you needed, then say no more. I mean, we can get that to you like within 5 minutes. If that's something you want to, okay, cool. Here's what this is. Da 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 da. So that's something you'd like to do. They say yeah. Boom.
Right. Okay.
So basically, again, main thing to understand is you got people that are a little bit not as many funds. Just keep having fun with it, practicing. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Something
I agree.
something will click sooner or later for you.
Right. Okay. That's cool with me.
I would say that. I would say, yeah, do that over like trials, $500, $1,000 trial. Because why? If you do a trial, you make $500, they're paying the ass. You know what I mean? Recurring revenue is not going to come in and drop off. It's,
Right.
so
Yeah.
just get the finance and getting everything.
I
you
think it's a good skill to have anyway. Like
Yeah.
I know that's something I need to focus on now. So
Yeah. I mean, gym launch, all these big brands, like most of them it's financed. Most things are financed.
mm,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And then you heard the sad news today.
Um, I think I messaged you a few things.
Yeah, you did. I just haven't had a chance.
Okay. Um, yeah, no, I mean, we got a few pauses. That's okay. Not a big deal. Happens. Um, Nadia
I
was the one.
can
Go ahead.
yeah. No, nothing.
I think Nadia was the one that she wanted to pause initially, and then you got her on board, and then she did like another month or something.
Yeah, she did another month, and then I think with her, when she's like really like when she's the one that's really on top of it, she just like kills it, and then she gets really, she gets some good results, and then I think she gets a little bit comfortable, and then she gets busy, and then she's like, oh, I follow up the leads once a day, and it's just like, and then I have to kind of retrain her, but so
She's
I think
solo.
twice she has like few staff, I think maybe one or two. Um, and I think she probably is under that 20K. I have to double check. But I just know like she just gets really busy and then she tries hiring a VA. So she tried hiring a VA twice while we were together and they don't get the best results. Um, tried training their VA and it's just
I feel like what's happening is you just said right now, you're like, hey, the people that get the best results, they can afford to spend $50 per day. They're making enough revenue, they have enough staff. And in other words, they have the ability to follow up with leads.
yeah,
The bottleneck is again, if we already spoke about this, but whenever you're ready, for us to bring in our setter, and then
right,
that would keep Nadia on potentially.
right.
Think about it,
Do you
right?
think it's too early because I don't have enough people, like enough income?
I think I went over it. I think I did specifically go over it maybe a month ago in terms of like numbers that we can hit. There was a certain number I was telling you like we need
Oh, right,
this number 3 months in a row. And
right.
then yeah. Um, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing I hear from people who have other marketers who does calls for them is that they'll like get really good results at first and then like after a while the bookings become a lot lower and basically one person said yeah basically what happened was they had their best callers calling at first and then they hand it over to some VA in India and then and then it's kind of like out of their control of how much results they get And so I kind of like have used that in my own way where I kind of, kind of throw stones at people who hire like people with like call centers. Um, and so because like I would assume if you have like 5 different spas and they all have like a bunch of like different services, it's gonna be, you really have to train to be on each spa and like, answering those questions so it's not a big bottleneck and stuff.
That's what was brewing in my head when when I kind of hesitated. It's like you can hire a VA now. The problem is that your funnels and everything it's not systematized yet. There's so much variance.
Yeah,
If we had, again, I know I sound like a broken record. If we had semi-glutide dialed in and everybody's doing
yeah,
then all it would be very easy to train setter.
yeah. I feel like I'm so close to getting like a semi-glutide. I really want at least a few more where I can just run the same play and then this way I can really see because I think those packages are going to be easier to sell because so this is the trade-off I realized with Botox with the packages and then semaglutide with the packages. With Botox, I think it's easier to get people through the door because you don't really have to qualify as much. They can just come in, but it's harder to sell packages because most people they just kind of want the Botox and you need to really get people in multiple times. Whereas semaglutide, you do have to do more qualifying on the front end. You have to ask, if they have like certain things, they're just gonna be disqualified right away. And so if they come in, you're basically wasting their time because they can't go on it anyway. So they have to ask like a series of questions, like health questions. So there's like a little bit more in the front end that they have to do, but on the back end, when they come in, they have to lose they have to lose if they want to lose 80 pounds, they have to stay on it for 3 months anyway. So the way we package our packages is if they're paying 1,700 for 3 months, then we put that value and then we show the B12 shots and then we show the body contouring, stack that value up, and then we still sell it for 1,700. And so they're getting all this extra value if they just pay up front. Plus, if they start today, they'll get, the IV therapy session. And so I think those just sell it themselves so much more easy versus the Botox, you have to do like the demo, you have to really explain combinational therapy, the new vehicle, and I haven't really dialed that part in where I can help people get people in for Botox, but I just like selling the packages a lot harder.
The other thing to be thinking about though also is like, yeah, Botox is not as sticky versus this is sticky. It's literally the rest of their life pretty much. Because they
Right,
stop taking the meds, they gain all the way back and everything. So
right,
lifetime value. Think about how sticky that is. Yeah, sure, Botox people come in, they get fillers, but they can go to another location. It's not, you
right,
know, typically if somebody's gonna come to you for shots to lose weight, they're gonna stay with that doctor for a while, a long
right.
time. Um, but yeah, I'm on.
I was talking
And the thing is, like, once we have semaglutide dialed in, the setter is just gonna know how to have those conversations every single time.
every single time. Yeah.
It's the
And
same
a lot
conversation.
of these people they'll just have like weight loss stuff. So they have like, maybe like a body contouring and then with the semaglutide. And so um
So
and yeah,
what's the bottleneck right now? Is that the semi-glutide funnel? Do you still have it turned on, or is it not turned on, or is it turned off right now, or what's the issue is with
it's still turned on, but for my funnel, right, to get leads for that. I think the leads cost per lead is just higher, and then I just haven't like I feel like I get more semaglutide from the testimonial video that I did where she's like talking, but not where it's like specifically the semaglutide stuff. So um
so when you
yeah, I mean there was that one guy, the Tariq, Q was fine, but I think mostly and then there was I think Eva from there who I think I'm following up with tomorrow. She was the one that basically started with like the telehealth marketing, but then really just wanted to work with me. So I'm following up with her tomorrow. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow actually. Um, if one of those people will. But yeah, I think we can get more leads possibly with the semaglutide ad, like some kind of variation or something.
good. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be it. I saw some guy he was running ads for some weight loss thing, and he was targeting specifically like that, like weight loss clinic. So I know that's possible.
Yeah. And I was talking to Ali, the one I was supposed to have the demo with. She was like just saying, she's getting great results. When she gets people and she's selling them, but her biggest trouble is that people will start with her and then they'll move to telehealth because it's cheaper. And so I was really like asking all these questions, and she's like, "Yeah, like I saw them like you'll work like with me. I'm gonna actually monitor you every single week. You'll have, I'm basically going to be here in person." And so that's where I told her, you're getting these people in, and they can move to like the telehealth. And so what we need to do is bring in some kind of body contouring service so that when they come in person, it's actually worth coming in, and this way we can increase the value. And it like clicked for her, and she's like, yeah, like that's it. Like I could probably get like a lower end M sculpt thing and get people in. I think that's the move. And so I can tell like if we can work with people who are like not telehealth, but just like, I mean, maybe even telehealth, but those who have like the body contour or other services, then it's like that's what's going to separate them from the telehealth people.
Yeah. What's the holdup with her right now? Is she just
Um,
like, did you had the sales call with her, right?
no, we had the discovery call. So the demo call was the one I was supposed to be on, and then she
Oh, with
sort of schedule. So
you had the discovery call with her, went good, had the sales call today. You need to move that, gonna do the sales call later. I see. And then
yeah,
she bought in. Okay, cool.
yeah. But yeah, I like doing the semaglutide so much more. Even when I was doing with for eye candy, they were getting like really good results, getting people booked in, and then um yeah, it's just hard to like work with her own back end stuff. Like she seems to want me really like on the thing. But I remember one of the nurses said like, oh yeah, like we sold some packages. And so again, they were like barely even trained. And so I just feel like it's gonna be so much easier to one get people in, because if we have a VA and they just ask you know the preliminary questions, then they could just get them booked in, and then the packages kind of sell themselves. So I'm kind of hoping we can just fully move in that direction. It's gonna be so much easier than, yeah. And then like for my ads, I think because it says like the 90 hydrofacials in 90 days, I get a lot of solo estheticians who are making like less than 10K, and it's just, I look at them I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be really hard. Um so yeah, hopefully I can just attract more weight loss. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it's even worth like creating some kind of course or something for those people, the solo estheticians. I don't know if you get enough of that. Um,
I thought about that, because if they do the thing, then they'll get a lot of value, where when they do start making more money, or when they are ready, I don't know. I mean, I think regardless, it's probably a good idea to have some kind of, I just kind of want to be more dialed in to what we're actually like, the direction we're really gonna move in.
you're right. Shiny object syndrome. Get rid of the
Yeah.
shiny. Um, what else, bro?
That's all now. I'll respond to your message a bit later. Um, but you know, definitely a big testing month for me. Just spent a lot more, and I think soon again. I feel like I'm going in a good direction. We just have to kind of power through.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get the Google Doc update, just let me know. I mean, if I don't know if that route, whatever I presented is what you want to rock, but we'll see what things look like, and then we'll chop it up probably sometime later this week or next week and kind of take things from there. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Ryan, anything? Anything you want to go over, bro?
No, we're pretty good there, man.
Did we scare you away on our first call? Did we scare you off?
Nah, nah, there's plenty of information and some good little nuggets in there, but I think anything you try and tell me now will just go in one ear and out the other. Yeah. So I was gonna focus on preparing for these sales calls and getting that all ready for tomorrow morning.
Good. Kilman?
Yes,
Anything you
I do. Before you go, guys, I just want to show you. So, okay, to see if I understood well, I show you here. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna to present. So we have the goal. The goal is to increase it from 25K to 45K. Yep. And the way that we're gonna do this is in implementing this approach. So this is what we talked before. So we start with a low price offer, which will be the ad. And that is gonna contain 3 services. Then we build the relationship. And then we sign them up for the membership. So that's what we discussed before. Is that correct? That's the strategy.
And just remember, keep in mind, you need to set it up so that they need to come back for the second and the third session. So it's separate things.
Yeah.
So the $97 for service 1, 2, 3, they can only get service 1 while they're there. They have to come back for service 2 and 3 on a separate day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
so
I would
let's say
do is for service 2 and service 3, I would say bonus service 2 and then bonus service, or bonus service 1, bonus service 2. And then in the build relationship, say, get them in for service 1 and use, build a good relationship, give them a good thing, and then use bonus service 2 and 3 for the next appointment to secure the next appointment. And then the third one can just stay the way it is.
Sorry, what do you mean with bonus? Like, because what do you
Yeah.
mean with bonus?
So you're gonna get the best results if the service is focused on one problem. So if they're having dandruff, then you want the main service to be shampoo that's gonna solve your dandruff, like the head massage that's gonna solve your dandruff. And then plus when you visit, you're gonna get, you're gonna get to try our massage and something else with that as a bonus. And then so you get them in for service 1, and you tell them on the phone about all these bonuses that they're gonna get. And then in the build relationship, you're gonna write down, all the things about building a relationship, and then mention you're gonna use the bonuses to lock in the next appointment and give them the bonuses then, so that way you can get them back, and then keep the third one the same.
So
it would be
service 1 is what you're advertising for 97. You're saying $97 for dandruff wash. Service 2 and service 3 are bonuses. So I'll give you a concrete example. Let's say somebody's trying to lose weight. Service 1 is going to be a diet plan. Okay. Service 1 is gonna be a diet plan for $97. You're gonna do all the macros. You're gonna tell them how many calories, how many carbs, how many fats, everything, how much to work out. Service 2 is gonna be 7 days, for example, of working out. And then service 3 is gonna be like 3 massages. So service 2 and service 3 are bonuses. So
Yes.
service 1, they go in and they get that treatment. I give you all the macros, nutrition, everything, but then you have to come for the bonus service 2, bonus service 3, you have to come in separate times. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know if I just complicated it more.
No, it makes sense. The thing is, so ideally will be all the service together for like a package, and then this is the offer. And the reason, but it makes sense what you're saying. It makes sense. But the thing is, if I only offer one service, their service are $100, $150, and if we sell that service, it's okay if we put the price like $50. So it would be okay. Like, okay.
So let's say service 1, service 2, and service 3. Let's say the actual total price, the actual price that they sell it for, let's say theoretically, it's $300. Let's just say theoretically.
Okay.
You would market it for $97. And service 2 and service 3, they're getting for free. And they're bonuses. Theoretically. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay, gotcha. Okay, now the other question is, when we're implementing these strategies, so what would be the path? How we do it? Like, okay, start with the ad, then we start with a landing page, opt-in page.
So this is something that's different. You don't need to worry about this right now. It's most likely going to be a lead form ad, which is not even this. Yes, we do ad. Yes, they have opt-in. Yes, we do nurture. Yes, we sell them when they come in. Yes, we do upsells. It still does the 7 and 9 figure machine, but it's not necessarily a funnel. Like what Aman runs, he doesn't really even run funnels for most of his clients. It's a lead form. So do you know what a lead form is? A lead form ad is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a lead form ad. So it's usually just people see an ad, they click on name, email, phone number, and then he the way Elman has it, he has like AI talk to them, and then somebody calls them and then schedules to get them to come inside.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
So
it
we
doesn't
have
it might not look like this. If you want to present it, you can. I'm not sure I would present this to them.
Yeah.
They're going to think that they're gonna expect you to build a funnel. You don't know that a funnel is even going to work. I think that a lead form is actually
Yeah, you can
but
promise the idea of the form, like, hey, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a Facebook form, and when we see a cost per lead at $10 a lead, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep calling them. Then what we can do in the future is we can set up a nice page where they can answer questions. But first, we need to make sure that on the ad, people are biting, people are coming in, and once we know that, then we can build. And this way, it kind of, if they are kind of sold on all this, it kind of gives you that time of like, it's not smart to test a bunch of variables. Is kind of what you're saying.
Aman, do you have like an image just really quick that you showed them where it's like the ad, the lead form, whatever? Do you have anything like visually like this, by the way, or no?
So I'll show you. I guess I can't show you, but I do have something where it's three parts.
Yeah, three
So
that
yeah, do you want me
I
to
would
show it?
yeah, if you can show if you have it pulled up real quick, that's what
yeah.
you're gonna want to
Yeah.
show.
Okay, so
It's still the 7 and 9 figure machine, Kilman. It's still the same thing, but it's just a different
yeah, you
this
can
is
see it.
that's what
So I can, before I get into the demo, I explain, how all this works, but I start here where I say, basically we implement three systems. The first one is getting the leads and how we personalize the ad and how we increase the value of the offer to get those leads. And then we'll show you how we implement the AI to nurture those leads. So basically once those leads come in, they need to be contacted as soon as possible. And we'll go through the AI system. And then once you're getting people booked, you're gonna be almost at a break even, and the real money is on the back end and upselling these clients. So we're gonna go over our system to upsell these patients. So I mean that's kind of like the quick version, and then
Yeah,
I'll go
gotcha.
into each thing.
this is what you'll actually most likely end up doing. This is what you're gonna do. It's still the 7 9 figure machine. It's still all those 6 moving parts.
Okay. Now, question: when you're getting leads, are you collecting payments?
No, they're just putting in a form with their information, and then my clients are calling them.
So in my case, because we're gonna route ads, I'm gonna put service 97, and you get this and this and this as a bonus. Do I have to collect payments there, or do I have to only delete?
You only capture their name, phone number, email, and that's gonna go into the go high level where you're gonna train your client to reach out to them. And so they'll get the notification. You should have an automation that sends a text like, "Hey, thanks for filling out the form for our head massage offer. Is this Julie?" And then she may reply yes, and you could just let them know they're gonna reply yes. You want to call them right away and explain the offer to them, get them booked in, and then you could take a deposit on the phone. But most people, if they see an offer like this, they're not going to put in a credit card. They don't trust you enough to do that. And so yeah.
To answer your question, you're not collecting payment until they go into establishment, basically.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. So the payment have to be in the business, not in the ad.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So we have the leads and they have to call them, and then we do all the process, and then we figure out what is the best process in order to optimize time of them and the results. All right.
Yep. Exactly.
Because that is gonna give them more chances that they can collect leads, because our main thing is collect leads. Of course, the main thing is it make the sale, but the people are gonna be more skeptical to make the sale, even if $50, even if $40. But that can be done if everything is very well structured and all the information is shown, like videos and everything. But it's more easy just do it with the leads, because I say, okay, it's 97. Oh, actually interested. Just put the email and that's it.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
So somebody's
okay.
So somebody's going to see the ad. They're going to click on it. They're going to put their name, email, phone number. Then your client is going to be notified. You're going to be notified. And then your client is going to reach out to them. Hey, John, I saw that you opted in for this thing. And then they're going to talk to them. Hey, tell me about this problem. Tell me what you're looking for. Da, da, da. Okay, great. So let me, what day would you like me to schedule in? You want me to schedule on Tuesday? Okay, great. Tuesday. So then the lead goes in on Tuesday and they get the treatment done. And then they talk to staff, okay, great. So we got the treatment done on Tuesday. You want to schedule the bonus on Wednesday or Thursday? When do you want to do it? They schedule for Thursday. So then they go in on Thursday, and then your client tries to upsell them the package and other things. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, makes sense. So it's more it's like, okay, so the risk is like, okay, they're gonna go to 1, 2, 3 bonus, but they already gonna build a relationship. So the chance is gonna be, good say, less chances that the initial things. Gotcha. It's like you put the journey a little bit more, longer, and you give it more value, more value, more value, more value, more value, and then okay.
This
Yeah.
took me like over 6 months to really understand that, and so you pretty much understand it really well right now. So
Yeah.
I didn't really understand, like, when my clients were finding me against doing a 97, they were like, yeah, we're not going to be profiting from this, and so I would do the higher ticket for them. But I didn't really I was able to articulate, I didn't really understand why we were doing that. So I mean, if you can just explain the way you just did, then you're in a much better place, because now you're talking strategy to them. You're not just trying to get them bad leads. You're trying to paint a whole picture of why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right, let's see.
I love Kilman. Kilman's like an evil villain.
Yeah.
He's just it's so excited.
Yeah. He's signing like, and then he's like,
Like, it makes sense. I get it. Okay.
the potion's just overflowing. He's like, yes.
Good. All right, guys. Yeah, I think I don't have any other question. I'll let you know if you have any other question. Yeah, do you have any questions?
No, I will just send you what message me for the funnel, and I'll send you a link to the funnel when I so you can start working on your client. So main thing is this, Kilman. Yes, work on your client, do everything we're talking about, but make sure niche client, niche funnel as soon as possible. You need to build that out.
Yeah, I have to build my funnel. Yeah, I need that funnel, and then start doing my videos and everything. I took a look at your system a little bit, Aman. So, and your videos and everything, like, yeah, very, very nice. Very nice to achieve the results. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool, guys.
Okay.
Aman, anything else that you need, bro?
No, good
Cool.
here.
All right, cool. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
All right.